Alright, I'm sure everyone knows why we're here today, but for the few who don't, obviously last night we covered, we covered food stamps manifesto in response to the Lolicon allegations, or Lolicon confessions, Lolicon self-reports, and following that, there was a big panel. Obviously we watched Stardust cover a bit of it, and then Stardust joined that panel after she was finished with it. It was on Tom Foolery's channel. There was a bunch of people on in the end, and it all spiraled, ended in a series of interrogations of Foodshops by members of the panel. Yeah, there's a fuckload of content to get through, to be honest. I don't know how much of it we'll get through tonight. We might do some more of it tomorrow, we might do some more of it Thursday night. I don't know what the plan is yet. Actually, I probably won't stream tomorrow, I've got uni pretty early Thursday. But Thursday night we'll definitely come back to this, I think. Okay, so we don't care about this. We do not want to listen to Lauren DeLaguna talk for any longer than we have to. Beckett joins. Now that's going to be where this actual content begins. Okay. All right. I mean, let's just start, I guess. I'm going to pull up a video game to play while we watch this, because it's going to take fucking ages. As you can see, it's a 7-hour VOD here, and literally all of it is about food stamps. So, yeah, we're in for the long run here, okay? I'll just play it.
Instead of having it be morally neutral, I think that's when it becomes a bit of a problem.
We're gonna 1.5 it.
Like,
because people are not interesting enough.
Because like for me, it's like say that it's like neutral, right? It's like, because here's the thing. Generally, with young men, what I see is that like we just kind of don't really care about a lot of different attributes of women. We just kind of like the woman. If we like the woman, particularly if we just like how she looks, we can kind of just sort out everything else. So it's like if it was her age is irrelevant, right? Like she's old enough, she's 18, or she's old enough, she's like 22. It just is she's 22. All right, fine. But if you say you should, as an older man, go for a younger woman, I'm like, oh, hold on. I don't like that should word. I don't like that.
So I don't know that anybody's saying that, but I do think that they're saying that like men are just naturally more attracted to women within certain age groups, right? So like we all know the studies that say that like we're most attracted to women between the age of 20 and 25, and that like even the older you get, the more attracted to that age group you get, and it just seems to be like.
What conversation are we on? I know I've just woken up.
Age gaps.
Age gaps. Oh, age gaps. Thank God I woke up for this. What would I do without it? Fuck me.
Attraction is just based on like. It should be based off.
Hey, dude, I can't remember like when Lauren stops talking as much and when other people start talking more, but I genuinely we might 2 times this until that happens, because she is one of the least intelligent, least interesting people that I've ever seen, frankly.
Creation typically, so men should be attracted to women when they're fertile, whereas men don't have like an age restriction on when they are. I mean, people say that sperm expires, but you can have.
We'll skip to where KidnotKin joins. Maybe. We'll see how this goes for now. Worse than Stardust? No, not worse than Stardust. What is Scott Pilgrim's take on this? Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes for now. If I have to skip... Actually, no, we will just skip it. Fuck it, it's only 20 minutes, so it'll be fine. Nothing important's going to be said here, I don't think. Actually, unless it is, doesn't Beckett say some shit about spicy chat in here? Fuck it. We'll just watch it. Okay, we'll do it. I'm gonna stop fucking around. We're just gonna do it. Fuck it.
I can't remember his name. I don't know shit about him outside of what you've talked about and what you've told me, and that what happened on Destiny stream with you and him. That's it. But I don't remember his name. Like I was gonna ask you more about the experience with an age gap relationship. Do you find like older men more attractive?
No, I actually don't want to listen to this. Actually, no, I'm changing my mind immediately.
That is, they like
flying
all
around
those
the world.
things.
Yeah, they like the pictures they take, and they like living the life experiences. To me, I don't think it has anything to do with instinct. I think it's the culture, maybe a little bit in Hollywood. The culture of social media. I do think it is. And I think in this case, when you have men like Mr. DiCaprio, who's constantly doing it, I do think it's for the power and the validation. I don't think it has anything to do with his natural instinct to procreate with young women.
Reasons, and if somebody wants to date him with all of the knowledge that we have and coming up to their own opinions based off the knowledge that we all have, then that's fine. They're allowed to date him and knowing.
That's true.
That's
true.
Like,
no one saying you can't.
Judge people and their relationships and their kinks and what they're into. I'm trying to just like I have my own struggles with my own. I'm trying to just be like a mom and a wife, and like I'm 30 years old, and like I recognize how difficult like my likelihood of getting married, according to Jordan Peterson, is.
It's hilariously easy. Like you're a young lady. You're not. There's no struggle with you finding him. It doesn't matter. You're a woman. Like you're not hard pressed to find a man.
Literally what I'm saying. I'm a 30-year-old woman. That's literally the problem.
No, it is not the problem. What I'm saying is you are a woman. Yeah. You being 30 is irrelevant. You're a woman. You can find a dude to marry you. The question is, do you want him? That's the real question.
I mean, like, maybe I could find some guy in my like DMs who like
Okay,
also
that's a
DMs
dude.
all of my friends, you
Or
know.
maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just likes Lauren. Maybe he just wants you.
Right?
Pick him.
Like me and my friends, like we do look at our DM like requests and see like which matching guys we have, and we all have like basically the same group
Okay,
of
don't
people.
pick him. No, that's okay. Don't pick
Have you
him.
considered marrying Tom?
There's that.
Every time.
I'm one of the matching up. I'm one of the guys who's matching up along all of our friends.
We are going to skip this, actually. We are going to skip this, because this is painful. We are going to do it.
Just in time, kid. I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about. So we started talking about the Foodshops video.
Oh god, I came in here for this one joke, not to talk about pedophilia. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Did you
we
say
got
it,
cut
like,
off. My
what?
internet went out,
But
so I
like
was
you.
gonna see if Beckett wanted to give his take on this.
Fucking yeah, because because I was drunk in the call. Fucking hell. Is this it for the food shop stuff? Yeah, I've seen the manifesto.
You watched it all.
I had to move a bit quickly through some of it, but I've seen most of it now.
You give like
I didn't see the very end.
note or the spark notes.
The end is interesting. Okay, so I guess I didn't go through her full. If you've seen the beginning bit where she sort of goes over everything else, there seem to be some pretty strong accusations towards Chud and Spicy with the way that they've gone about doing this. She's presented evidence that this isn't a new conversation. I think it's a really weird one as well. Like obviously a lot of my content is laughing at shit like this, so I found it really fucking difficult. I think it's hard because the way it's been phrased to me with the early conversations with Rezzy were she's basically come on, started talking about her attraction and kind of like the things she was looking at, and people have taken that a certain way. Whether she's been targeted by certain individuals in the space, I think it's pretty.
What does this mean, targeted? Targeted. What does he mean there? Targeted. What is Beckett trying to say? What is targeting someone? When you see something someone says online and you think it's retarded and you call them retarded for it or say they're being cringe, is that targeting them? Are you targeting someone? Is the fact that we said, oh, we want to keep this going, this fight that she started, we want to keep this going and make it worse, is that targeting? Is that not just making content out of something that's happening? It feels like he's loading this statement like super hard. I felt this the entire time Beckett was talking about Spicy Chat. I don't know how long it goes on for. I was falling asleep. What's going on?
The point you just made then, the argument that she started, if she had got a reaction in the initial instance from Chud, she'd have farmed the fuck out of it.
Yep.
So would the same thing be said about her, that she's now targeted Chud Logic? Like, no, not at all.
We're a bunch of shitters in a Discord channel that like fucking around and watching Twitch ball streamers. It's not like, that's why she's so upset about it, because it wasn't like it was a big content creator she got to fight with where she gets a bunch of promo from it. It's just, you're fighting with just like, it's like going on 4chan and starting an argument, like unironically. It's just like, what's the fucking point? You're fighting the wind at that point. You don't know who any of these people are, and they have no commitment or reputation to uphold. It's not like anyone in Spicy Chat gives a fuck whether someone thinks they're lying about pedo accusations. Like, obviously they don't. It's just a bunch of anonymous chatters. So, it's just it's obviously just, it's a bad fight to pick, and she got the wrong end of it. And the end she didn't want. Yeah.
And this retard as well has shown a willingness to engage in that kind of a scrap, because that's kind of how it played out when you had the first screaming match with her. Because the shit that she was spurging out at you and the things that she was saying, it's like calling you fat and things like that. It's like, where are you this shit based on? Like, you just clutching at fucking straws. You don't know what you're doing. You're literally just here to fucking That's all you're doing now.
Yep. It was just insufferable reeing. Also, I've just been sent a meme by Sleepy. Recreating a classic here. Recreating a classic. Kuihman, look, here's Chud Logic. Chud Logic, what are you going to do about this, Chud Logic? Okay. So that's obviously a quote from the manifesto video. In the style of Sunday, as we now have our Miss Monday.
Clear, Kuihman hates her fucking guts. Like, I think that's a bit undeniable.
Real quick, we know that this group of people just like picks random people and then just harasses the hell out of them. Like, Stardust has been one person.
I'm starting from square zero. I don't know anything about anyone. I don't know shit.
Square Zero. Fuck me, where do we go to Square Zero? So, Foodshops is a creator within the space who hosts his channels. She
we're at square one actually.
Square one, okay. through a series of conversations, Foodshops has mentioned watching hentai, particularly lolly, and kind of highlighted that she doesn't feel that that's pedophilic. She feels that that is, you know, an aesthetic of some kind. She has then had other conversations. One of the ones she highlights in there is a conversation she had with a Muslim thought leader, I think, where she highlighted that she's actually, you know, against child marriage and everything else, that she's not a paedophile. I think she refers to having some sort of like OCD over it. I think I've heard that thrown out.
Yeah, POCD, yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like a cool thing is that recently a video came out from Jenny Matrix, which I also edited and did the artwork for, where that video highlights...
What is this video from Jenny Matrix? Is the channel not called Cope and Seethe? Is Beckett not the Cope? Is that not...
Yeah, he's literally in the fucking artwork. There's two characters, there's two rants owners in that artwork. Yeah, one of them is clearly Beckett, and one of them is clearly Jenny Matrix.
It's a joint channel, no? That's the impression I get from it. I don't know why he's doing this whole distancing himself thing. He did that in the call with me as well. It's just like, bro, you're one half of this channel. Be real here. This is a joint project. This is not just Jenny Matrix's video.
Demon Mama and one of her partners, and the fact that their partner was talking a lot about Shota, which is like lolly but male. In a nutshell, Kuihman said it was hypocritical that so many people were like throwing shade at Demon Mama's community over this.
I agree. I thought people were free. Like the real quick, the video from I talked about this earlier. The video from Jenny Matrix was like about like them liking cartoons and like animals and furry shit and stuff like that. And then the very like last like it's like 40 minutes of that, and then the very last like couple minutes is about them having sexual conversations with minors in the Discord, and just kind of like brushed over just like a compilation of a bunch of screenshots right at the end. It's like the entire video should have been about that. Like that should have been the whole thing. But yeah, that should have been like the big deal. And I'm assuming if people made a big deal about something, that would have been it. But that's very different from like Foodshops. Foodshops is like she's just talking about having an attraction, not actually engaging with people. Like these are different things, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to where you come down to on things like.
So like, can we just acknowledge the POCD shit is just total bullshit, isn't it? It's just it's completely made up. I don't believe it for a fucking second. And if it is true, if she believes it, I think what's happening is basically she had OCD or has OCD, and has essentially like reformatted her attraction to lolly as being part of that, so she doesn't have to acknowledge the fact that she's attracted to kids. That's how it comes off to me. It's sort of like retroactively fitting the like of lolly into the OCD thing and being like, oh yeah, this is because I've got POCD. But POCD doesn't mean you've got a fixation on lolicon pornography. It means you've got a fixation on the idea that you might be a pedophile. Not that you have an actual attraction, but that you have a fear that you might have an attraction, which isn't the same as actually being attracted, obviously. So that's it's either bullshit or it's a recompartmentalization of that. So, what have we got here? Can we also acknowledge that no one even established DM grooming in Discord? Well, they established that there were 16 and 17-year-olds interacting in sexual topics with people over 18. Kind of retarded, I think, to be honest, because, I mean, 16 and 17 is legal in like most of the US. I don't know. Like, do we really care that much? Do we really care? I don't know, man. I was probably having sexual conversations with people over 18 when I was 16 on the internet. I'm going to be real. And I turned out fine, right, guys?
I mean, not to advocate for it in any way, but what's the Discord TOS in regards to the age of, like, it's 30?
Oh, you might cut out again.
Who joins your Discord, how old they are, you're not going to know anyway. So a lot of minors who would potentially join those, they're not going to fucking disclose that information. So like, but yeah, like you should, if you know, you should obviously crack down on it. It's easier said than done.
Yeah. Kuihman was groomed. Abby Blackbird saying, might as well have blamed autism. Yeah, the OCD section at the start of the manifesto is just fucking crazy. It's just like, I can understand if you feel like your mental health issue has contributed to a drama. I can understand talking about that. But for it to be like the front and center first thing you see when you open the manifesto is a section saying OCD, it's like you would have to be fucking seriously retarded to put that as the first section, because anyone with half a fucking brain is going to look at that and go, well, it just feels like you're throwing your mental health out as an excuse for why you're acting like a pedophile online. Like, you at least hide it a little bit in the back or something, you know, as opposed to just throw it up as your first and foremost excuse.
So some people would take the hardline stance of, if you're looking at lolly or even fucking hentai or whatever, it's like you're a pedophile. That's like the hardline fucking stance on this. Like,
Any hentai? I thought hentai was just like
it
Japanese.
is, but there's a hardline thing of all anime is degenerate, basically.
Anime is just like Japanese for animated, right? So if it's like animated,
well, it is just Japanese animation, yeah.
It's Japanese animation. Yeah.
It's a specific
style.
By the way, have you ever looked up lolly laws specifically in regards to California? No, but I will. I'm sure this isn't a good search to make, especially with some other searches I've probably made, but we'll see. Lolly laws, California. California law does not explicitly prohibit the viewing of child pornography, but does prevent the possession of it. Wait, is it actually illegal in the US? This website's saying it is actually illegal in the US. Lolicon. Okay, so what have we got here? What is Lolicon? Okay, we get that. Laws surrounding Lolicon. In 2003, the United States government passed the PROTECT Act. It's made CP federally illegal. The law defines CP as any depiction of an identifiable minor. Does that mean can be identified as a minor? I assume, right? I assume that's what that means. Not identifiable as in you can identify who it is. That is engaging in sexual activity. That means that Lolicon is illegal at the federal level, as it falls under the category of CSAM. Huh. The state does not need to prove very much to convict you on CP charge for viewing Lolicon. They must only prove that you knowingly possess sexually specific involving child. So is there actually any charges? If it's illegal, then I got some shit to delete, mate, says DK. Thank you. Thank you, DK, for that input. Charged for Lolicon, United States. If anyone can find a case of someone being prosecuted for Lolicon, I would be genuinely interested, because I've never seen a case, from my recollection, where someone was charged for just Lolicon. Usually they have real stuff as well. But if anyone can find that, put it in my Discord, because I would like to read that case.
Yeah,
okay, so specific. Wait, can you do animated characters that are adults? And if so, if you draw adults in anime having sex, is that considered pedophilia?
That's hentai.
No,
so
that would
no, but it's considered. But there's a large proportion of the internet that considers the whole thing highly fucking degenerate.
No.
I'm just giving you the line out. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm just giving you the line out.
I consider the entire Destiny community highly degenerate. I don't
Sure, I'm just giving you the fucking line out. I'm not making any.
Okay. Lauren won there. We'll give her that one. Slight Lauren W there. The entire Destiny community is degenerate. Very true. Slight Lauren W.
Very distinct things. Like, you could be highly degenerate and not pedo.
So that all happened. Foodshops, like the lolly and stuff. I mean, this is to be clear, like the sort of thing that ruins people's careers. Like, this is what happened with Flamenco. Flamenco for ages was denying that he watched any kind of like fucking hentai or anything, and then everyone found out that he had like a huge history watching Shota and like a load of other fucking shit.
Did Flamenco really deny that he watched hentai? I don't believe that Flamenco ever denied that. If he did, he's a fucking retard, because no one was buying that shit for sure.
Yeah. And
I think he was trying to sell the fact that the account that he dug up in the first instance didn't belong to him.
Yeah.
But then he broke him down and he finally admitted to it.
Yeah. I watched the Kino Casino where they did a fucking awful job of confronting him on it. I never got. I don't feel like anyone ever got to the bottom of the whole Steam group shit. Do you remember that? Where it was like he was in some Steam group that was like lolly related, and then if you dug through his Steam group, there were like some users that had pictures of actual children as their profile pictures or something.
Right.
But they had like German names, so it's like unlikely that Flamenco even spoke to them, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how bad Flamenco really was, but
yeah, to be fair, like a lot of the sector type shit, they don't mind using guilt by association. They use it quite often, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people can sit there and say, we misconstrue shit for the sake of comedy. It's like, it's true to some extent, but compared to like a lot of places on the internet, is I feel like Spicy Channel people around us generally, it's generally based on fact, at least.
Well, yeah, just because there is particularly if you're creative, there's an expectation that you will be willing to get on stream and confront people and have conversations. Yeah. So at that point, like it's going to, if you get caught in a lie, it'll get broke down for the world to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas a lot of that kind of stuff, it's just anonymous trolling. So it's very hard to ever like know what is reality and what has been, fabricated.
Okay, Sleepy has sent me some Wikipedia page. Okay, so there's a Destiny research stream now, guys. Okay, it's a Destiny research stream. We're gonna sit here and read articles for the next 6 hours. Okay, so court case involving some district of Iowa. Obscenity charges stemming from importation. Okay, so this is the thing, isn't it? I haven't seen anyone convicted for viewing it online. What was the judgment? Yeah, go for it.
There are some weird laws in the US. I mean, I don't know if it obviously applies to things like Lolicon, etc. But in terms of export of pornography between state lines, because that's what. Do you remember Max Hardcore?
No.
The pornographer, he did like really extreme, like really hard, like really hardcore fucking porn, and he got custodial prison sentence because he was selling his material on his website and he was distributing it across state lines, and he got that's where he got picked up on. So he got convicted. So whether that applies to obviously things like Olicon is a different story, but yeah, there's all weird and wonderful little laws in terms of that kind of shit in America.
Yeah, we're reading this. What was the decision made here? Postal inspectors obtained a search warrant for the home of 38-year-old Iowa comic collector. Seized 1,200 items, of which about 80 were deemed drawings of children being sexually abused. Many of the works had been originally published in Comic LO. Okay. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. Back in the big cases here. To be fair, groups like that probably should back stuff like this, to be honest. It's why I'm so pissed off. Like, the EFF doing nothing about, like, Kiwi Farms and Omegle is just, like, fucking crazy. This is obscenity charges, but these... So are these, like, federal charges, or is this state charges?
I mean, if I was to guess, if you look at how it was named, full name, United States of America versus...
United States, yeah.
So it must be
It must be federal charges, surely.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'd be state of Iowa versus... Yeah. Huh. Well... Yeah, but that, like I say again, that's you're importing physical material, right? I don't know if anyone's been charged off of viewing it online, but it does make it say it's clearly the material is illegal to possess federally, apparently. So it's pretty crazy. I didn't actually know that, but whatever.
To badly defend himself.
Federal charges sent you another link. Internet charges this time. Okay. I'm worried about what it's going to bring up on screen, to be honest. Okay, we're all good. Dwight Hawley went to a local office of the Virginia Employment Commission in Richmond, ostensibly to look for jobs online. Instead, he used the state's computer to download and send Japanese anime cartoons showing graphic acts of CSAM. Because of a 2003 federal obscenity law, that's illegal. The law, designed to help protect children from exploitation, makes it a federal crime to produce or distribute obscene drawings, cartoons, paintings, or any other visual representations. But so that's produce or distribute there. But what does produce mean? Is printing producing? Because surely you could be charged if you like set up, like if you started like printing a bunch of, you know, lolly comics or whatever. Surely that would probably get you caught for producing, wouldn't it? I imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine, unless they were able to. I mean, you're still obviously going to get slapped with the charge, whether they didn't like kind of like parlay that into giving up the names of people that they actually, the customers, etc., and they can get away with it. But like I said, that's kind of irrelevant if they're still obviously having to make kind of some kind of plea deal to make that happen. So.
D Primer says, I saw a guy selling old manga with lolicon at a swap meet in California last week. Lol. Okay. Clearly this isn't enforced very heavily. Drawing it is producing, reposting it is distribution. Okay. Alright. Well.
Because, like, people are going to read this in different ways. Now, there are levels to this. I've said this before. If you are drawing stuff like baby furs, where there are people who are taking pictures of toddlers and tracing furry characters over them, I think that's highly fucking suspicious, to say the least. There is also then, like, a scale to this where you're looking at, like, I think what it appears to me that, like, Foodshops is talking about is watching, like, school hentai, or the teacher-student aesthetic.
That's not all she was talking. Okay.
Wait,
but you could have the same criticisms.
We can use our own words. Wait. We can use our own words here. She calls it drawn child pedophilia.
Here's the thing, right? There's a big difference between, like, just quote-unquote school hentai and lolicon, right? We acknowledge that, because there are some anime girls that, while they may be in the law, like 16, in the actual world of the show they may be 16, they're drawn just the same way that an anime creator would draw a 28-year-old female anime character. But then you've got lolly, which is very clearly drawn as a child, like a prepubescent child, right? So for Beckett to sort of conflate these two things, that feels pretty dishonest.
Well, when I was having that conversation with Jay Chisel, that was one of the things he brought up, was the fact that the lolly, the depictions of people or children aren't anatomically correct in terms of it being, an exaggerated caricature of a character. But I pointed out to him, as we saw in the stuff with the Demon Mama hippies, where Fawn was talking about how, she wanted anatomically correct child, and so there's clearly a market, and I refuse to believe that there aren't people out there producing as realistic as possible depictions, still in an anime style, but like proportionally everything is in the right place and the right side. So yeah, it's cope that kind of stuff does not exist, because it absolutely must be. It must be.
Yeah 100%. And plus, like, Fawn was talking about dicks being anatomically correct and not being oversized, right?
Yeah.
Foodshops is talking about that's Shota. Foodshops is talking about lolly. I feel like the exaggeration in lolly would be making them excessively small and slim, right? That's the exaggeration in lolly. Whereas an adult anime character might be excessively curvy with fucking like fat tits or whatever the fuck. If someone was to draw a lolly that's exaggerated, I feel like it would be on the other end of the scale. I don't feel like that makes much sense, unless it's like, they're drawing like some fucking 12-year-old with fat tits, but I don't know. That's just not my general experience of osmosis around lolly. I don't know. It's very possible that's actually incredibly popular among lolicons to have fat tits on them. Very possible, but my general impression of it is not that. Like, I'm thinking like K-On, Like, this is my understanding of Lolly. I'm worried about fucking searching this.
Yeah, I was
actually.
gonna say. Yeah, don't scroll. Keep
1 minute.
put Google Safe Search on.
I'll do it on the other window. Or actually, we'll just pull up a. I know this will be safe. Bro, I need the USSD so bad, but fucking everything takes so long to load. Holy shit. Like, so I'm thinking like this. Just as we were mentioning this in Discord earlier. Like Lucky Star, you know, like this sort of shit. This is what I'm thinking. When I think Lolly, this is what my mind jumps to. You know, and this is not exaggerated in like the secondary sex characteristics. This is like, you know, pint-sized, tiny, incredibly slim, inhumanly slim sort of shit, you know, with massive heads. It's a good thing she clarified on Tom Foolery she's into medium build bodies, but yeah, but she also says she's into petite, so I just don't know. I don't know what to take a word for on that. Yeah, what were you going to say, Bug?
I don't know if I want to say this out loud, but like, it's not a million miles away from reality, because if anyone who's got kids or is friends with kids, etc., when she start to hit certain age ranges where kids start to have growth spurts, you do get these weird periods in time where obviously they haven't quote unquote blossomed yet, but obviously they're on the verge of it, and like the legs are now kids get super lanky out of nowhere and stuff like that. So it's not a million miles away from something that could be depicting some form of reality.
No, true, but I mean, even then, like, you know, even if you were to take it as exaggerated, the point that I agree with that, yeah. But what I'm saying is that even if you take the exaggerated excuse, the exaggeration is going to be on the other side. It's not going to be on the exaggerating them to look more adult, you know.
Child porn. She calls it that in her manifesto, right?
Jesus fucking Christ! Is that actually what she
Yeah,
means?
Yeah.
That's the whole problem why people are having such huge fucking issues. Because
Beckett's been out of the loop a bit for the last few days, I think, and he's just suddenly coming to the realization of how bad this actually is.
Wait. Here, let me read it. So in the I don't want to read this directly. Okay? In the manifesto, in the poison section, she says, "Let's get this out of the way. Yes, I consume lolicon. Yes, I recognize it as drawn child pornography. I recognize it's immensely optically damaging for me, especially being a transgender person in this space, to admit this, and especially since I believe in that content creator responsibility to some degree. Like the issue is, I don't think the issue is that she watches lolly and which is like what in the video she thinks is the issue. The issue is that she defends it as like this is drawn child pornography, and I'm okay with watching it. And then like her defense of this is the issue. Like Rezzy, even in that stream, says that she's not a pedophile. Like I don't think a lot of people aren't necessarily calling her. Like there are people who are calling her a pedophile. I'm not gonna say that that's not what's happening. There are people who are pedophiles. What's up?
Is this any different? Have you seen Big Mouth on Netflix?
I've seen the first.
Please shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt! Holy shit!
It's a long time ago. But
So is it any
I
different
fucking
than
hate that
last
show.
one?
Yes, it is.
It's very different. This is like specifically like to get.
But like, why would you even say like? How clueless do you have to be to think it's anything like fucking Big Mouth? Like, dog, have you ever? You must have seen like a frame of anime at some point in your life. Surely you can imagine what this is going to be like.
Off on like drawings of characters with prepubescent bodies. So like again, to give some context, no, lolicon. The word lolicon comes from two. It's a portmanteau of the word Lolita and complex.
I know what Lolita is.
Right.
Okay.
So it's literally somebody who has a Lolita complex. Somebody who's like obsessed with like you call somebody like the idea of a lolicon. You call somebody a lolicon when they have like an obsession with lolly. That's where it came from originally. That's like where the Japanese word lolicon comes from. This is a Japanese word. It's a portmanteau of Lolita and complex. Right. Like we could take her word for what she's calling it, right? Like this is not like I'm not like this is the document she took 2 days to publish. She calls it like drawn child pornography, right? Like
I'm not gonna look. I don't support child hate. Like I just don't support it. And that being said, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here. There is a legal argument to be had that if nobody's being harmed, because right now under the First Amendment, that's
well, it
not
matters. So like I know in the state of Connecticut, it's illegal to have any depiction of children, whether it be fictional or not, in sexual acts.
Yeah.
That's
so
what I
like,
just said. So under the First Amendment, that kind of child like depictions like of children doing that is not protected under the First Amendment. So it could be illegal under state statutes. So, but there are attorneys who do make the very same arguments that Foodshops is making right now, that it shouldn't be illegal. And those attorneys, I wouldn't say are pedos just because they make those arguments.
Yeah,
my position is mainly like an ethical one, just to say like, yeah, I'm more worried about if somebody's actually being harmed, and I think that like these are red flags that would say, hey, like make sure there's no minors like in the server or anything. Though I don't think anybody in this space should have minors in their server, which is like a good criticism of Demon Mama and Doe and all of these people, is that they definitely should.
Oh, I wanted to do this last night. I'm gonna do it now. I wanted to check Tom's Discord, see if he's got Dingo in there. No, I don't see Dingo. Okay, fair enough, Tom. No Dingo in your server. Okay. I respect it.
Not be having minors in their server. From a legal aspect, yeah, if you guys want to get into that, that's fine. But I think I'm more so worried about like the ethical aspect of this and the way that we're talking about it.
Sure, I would agree with you. This is like probably like the reality is that there is a ethical, like a different level from like consuming lolly and like grooming a child. Like that's probably one is infinitely worse than the other, right?
I think I called it. So like I think when I was drunk on that fucking call, because I had no idea what the fuck was going on about any of it. But like when I was drunk on the call, I think I called it a mockable position, which is unsurprising considering that take this out of you kind of like like what would be considered like extremely deviant sexual shit on the internet all the time. But I think it's an inherently dangerous position to hold. I think it's something that like the conversations around it are something that may see you get banned from certain platforms. I think that's what's happened on Twitch previously. I think it's also one of those where it's really difficult because I know other people have said to her, stop fucking talking about this. Like just stop fucking talking about it. Yep. Because it was only going to provide such ammunition to do stuff like this, basically. Everyone's got their different levels. I know certain people have been like,
yeah, but is that because Dingo's banned or because Tom's server isn't a desirable server to be in? I'm not sure. Did nobody fucking edit the manifesto? That sentence should not have been there. Which one? The one which acknowledges that it's CP?
Providing defenses. I know like Destiny's got like a who gives a fuck stance. Well, I don't know that. That's what's been
Destiny
sent to me in clips.
On this topic.
Sorry, say that again, Lauren.
Destiny chimed in on this topic on specifically
about
Foodshops.
Lolicon,
not specifically Foodshops. Yeah. Wait. So what did Destiny say?
I believe his position is who gives a shit. That's what I've been told, and I think that's been like the overall position for quite a lot of people over time.
Well, that's what I thought when
SFO have that position of it's fucking weird, but who gives a shit? They're not hurting anyone.
I'll tell you what,
and that's kind of when
I fucking hate that people just defer to Destiny. Like,
oh man,
what did Destiny say about it? Like, who fucking cares what Destiny said about it?
Guys, we need to let's frame the conversation, okay, guys? We need to know what Destiny thinks about this, so we know everyone can start on the right side, and then everyone that's dissenting, we know that they're wrong. Okay? So cringe.
Came into this is the way I kind of started off the stream as saying it seems weird. I felt like the general position here was like, stigmatize like actions of engaging with kids, not like actual pedophiles. And so even if we did say yes, this person is a pedophile, we wouldn't stigmatize them in this way. Yet it seems like this is just a virtue signal from a ton of people, and that they like want to be edgy or something and just say the shit. But when it comes down to it, they're not actually holding these positions. So
yeah, that's totally true. I would agree with that. I mean, seems like I'm sure there are people that are like latching onto this, just like every other drama ever, that are not in it for like actually having a conversation about why they have an issue or giving proper critiques. They're just here to fucking shit sling. It happens all the time. But yeah, I think that there is a conversation to be had, and like if you're willing to have that, like I think the other thing is like if you're willing to have that conversation, you're going to allow people on your platform like that, and if you're not, that's also somebody else's decision, right? To make. That's like I don't think it's like again in a situation because I'll use this, if like Rezzy doesn't want to have somebody on his platform that is like that like consumes what they consider as child pornography, like that's his decision to make too, right?
But there's also like I said, kind of like just really quick. There's also this other thing for me, like there is still this like ambiguous question of like, okay, where does the drawing aspect of it stop? Like if you were into drawn child porn, on what level is there sort of also this assumption that you're probably attracted to children that aren't drawn as well,
right?
And that remains like a very ambiguous, but like it's the worry's still there, and I think it should be there. Just like if people are attracted to drawn porn, it's usually of things that they're attracted to in real life, and you can't really like separate that out completely. But it is definitely like vague and ambiguous, so it makes it just like it just makes it where it's like, okay, I don't know how comfortable I would be with you around children, to be honest with you, if you're into lolicon. That's just my stance.
And that's what I'm saying is I think even if we assumed that that is her attraction and that she's into kids, these are just like red flags. I think it's fine to say, you know what, because this is a red flag, I think it's dangerous to engage with, and so I'm just going to excuse myself from this. It's the moral condemnation that's coming from a lot of people that I have an issue.
Who was giving moral? I don't understand this. He keeps saying that. I kept hearing him say this last night. He was complaining about moral condemnation. I don't know if this is just because SS went into his chat the other night, and SS has a much stronger stance on Lolly than I think most people in Spicy do. He went into Tom's chat and he asked about Lolly and was like, "Oh, you're associating with Lollicons, all this sort of shit." That's like the only like strong moral condemnation I've really seen. I suppose Jenny Matrix as well. That's the other one, I guess. But I haven't really seen many other strong moral condemnations like anywhere. It's just been people being like, "This is really gross and cringe, and you're a freak." Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like sourcing support's concerned as well, like not to like, you know, reveal his life on stream, but he's talked about in Discord. He's got a daughter. She's at a certain age where I think like this is the kind of thing he's, you know, we start to become very like
Concerned about,
aware of. Yeah.
Jimboy says California. Well, what's confusing about that? California? Well, I don't understand what you're asking. What's the question?
With and it's the and it's like the stigmatization of that person, not just saying like, you know what, little too edgy for me, not my thing, I'm not going to engage. And so yeah, so I'm saying even if we just go ahead and make the assumption that that is the case and that she is into kids, I still don't think this is like how we would handle it. But yeah.
I think my position's been pretty consistent. I think she mentioned something about it when talking to Viv, and it's so fucking hard to tell when that girl is memeing. But I basically said it's probably not something you want to say in front of my audience, because my audience is sort of a little probably, I don't want to say conditioned, but we watch a lot of lol cows. I didn't want to turn fucking Foodshops into a lol cow for my community or anyone else. That wasn't my
Foodshops turned herself into a lol cow.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh man, this has got to be like the worst feeling, right? You like start making friends with someone on the internet. You know, you're collaborating with them. You're having them on your stream, and then like just the next day, they just like suddenly show themselves as just like the biggest fucking lol cow going, and you just have to sit there and watch as your community eats them alive. Oh man.
Turn myself into. I think we'll get there eventually.
Well, and the problem isn't just that isn't just that Foodshops is talking about it. The way that she does it, she just kind of throws it out there, like, oh yeah, I have POCD. It's like, wait, what? Like no, like nothing to soften the blow or anything. You just kind of just wham, just like throw it out there. What
exactly is the difference between OCD and POCD?
POCD is a manifestation of OCD. It's a subcategory. So POCD is just like how somebody's OCD may manifest. It's not a different diagnosis. It's literally just a way that OCD manifests. You don't get a POCD diagnosis. You get an OCD diagnosis with, as far as I know. I'm not an expert, but that's like from what the stuff that's in her. The stuff that's in her manifesto, the links that she posted, that's what it seems like. I'm using all the information that she's given to me. It's like a whole section in her partner document that exists that she wrote. And she has links in there. So from her links, that's what it seems.
I thought the difference was that I didn't read her link. So I from my understanding, but going into this, I thought the difference was that there's.
Guys, we're 1 hour into the stream. Please like Subdono, like Subdono, like Subdono. Thank you very much.
A fear of this sort of thing, and that you're not necessarily diagnosed with whatever it's called, like pedophilic something disorder, but instead
it's like a fear that you could be an offending pedophile. So that there's something in you that could make you an offending pedophile.
Didn't we do this conversation last December? Actually,
yeah, we did this exact conversation with Mr. Girl.
Is this what we're doing? Are we looping on like literal is there like a fucking memo board list that?
Big ups, Rita. I need that ninja to edit my work presentations. I think you'd get fired pretty fucking quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Bullshit on POCD, BTW. The level of distress someone with it would even have going nearly would make it impossible to go after. Yeah, I did discuss this earlier, but the idea that someone with POCD would be like seeking out something that is likely to trigger them, like that just seems like a crazy fucking idea to me. Big ups Rita for the video. If you guys want to rewind to the start of the VOD, I played Rita's latest video at the very beginning of the VOD here. It will be up on my channel probably tonight after I finish. It might come up tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, check that out if you haven't already. So just P, says Chimbley. Yeah, I think so.
And by the way, every December, every November, December, we Twitch Politics has a pedophile discussion. It's every year since I've been in Twitch Pol, since 2019, there's been a pedophile accusation every December. It's like a Christmas treat.
It's nice.
It is.
Why do you hate it? What's to hate about this? The content cycle is good, okay? Listen, you get a new pedophile come through, everyone does their streams about it, everyone talks about pedophile stuff for a few weeks. What's wrong with that? What's so bad about that? I don't see the problem. This is the content cycle. This is what makes it fun.
For the last 3 years, every December.
Beckett's above it all attitude is intolerable, yeah. You clearly enjoy the lolcow shit. That's what you do on your stream all the time. Why are you fucking complaining that it's happening? That's crazy.
No, 4 years. 2019. Since I was here 2019. So 4 years.
Okay. I don't remember that one, but I remember like Mr.
Yeah, you just made a lolcow video essentially saying someone was a pedophile last week, dude. Yeah.
Coming in, then the panel last year, and then now
They're just mad the pedo discourse isn't about Demon Mama and Fawn, instead we've turned it around to one of their friends, I think.
this year. What up, Rezzy?
Not much. I know. I'm playing AoE. I figured I would come.
Rezzy, you need to start playing AoE 4 so I could destroy you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep playing AoE 2. It is the far superior one. The graphics are worse. The game is more balanced, and I don't give a shit because it is currently.
You don't even know how what the balance of AoE 4 is if you don't even play it.
Don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
I am
literally in heaven. I am in literal heaven right now.
Guys, no one cares.
I know.
Seriously, no one cares.
I will say this, like, I remember Amoshi. And I know that Spicy are calling Foodshops Amoshi and things to draw that comparison, but I remember the shit with Amos and people having him on to have the conversations because they were like, this is a guy calling himself a pedophile. It's great content. I had an interview with Jeff Holiday and he said to me that the worst he's ever felt was counting up his super chat money at the end of the
God, I fucking hate Jeff Holiday, man. Holy shit, that guy sucks, bro. The idea that you would feel bad about the Amos Yee shit, that's just so cringe. The Amos Yee shit was fucking brilliant content. And he didn't call himself a pedophile for a long time. I don't know what that is. Him calling himself a pedophile was quite late in his sort of career, right? For a long time, he just made these, like, you know, quote unquote ethical arguments about how it can actually be okay to, you know, fucking whatever it was, how you know, even with babies or whatever the fuck he'd say.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my memory, he wasn't really even interacting with people when he finally got busted.
No,
his cycle had basically
it was over for a long time.
And at no point where he'd never been actually, you know, of anything or admitted to having anything.
Yeah. So Conkabar in chat says POCD is incredibly rare, and it's not something a sufferer would openly admit. She's just an attention-seeking pedo base. Okay.
Like when he'd had Amoshi on, because he was like, I've just made money off a fucking pedophile. And like, I think the calculation some people are probably doing in their head is, what if, under all the memes and everything else and all the defense, what if she is? And that's what we're platforming. And I think that is a serious fucking problem that like people are having. Like, memes aside, it's very difficult to make that calculation because Amos is in fucking prison because he's a pedophile.
Yeah. For me, so my thought process is, what if keep rating somebody, keep platforming them, help them get bigger and bigger, and then they do use their platform to offend in some way. That's like, yes, I will look back at every decision I ever made and be like, oh shit, dude, I fucked up here, bro. And that's a thing that, yes, I think makes sense as far as the red flags go, that this would be like a fear for a lot of people.
Well, again, I think that there's a lot of behavior from people that are involved in this that are probably, like, I would probably say are just being shitty people. I think the Amos Sheet thing is kind of a little shitty too, because
I agree with you.
I understand.
That works until you realize.
Which is shitty. Who cares? It's funny. Yeah, a lot of things are shitty. Like, who cares, bro? These people are so gay. Who is this guy? Is this Sam the Human?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Is that Sam the Human, or is the other guy Sam the Human? Guy with the anime picture.
Trying to think. Yeah, I think that might actually be that guy because I think he does get referred to as Sam at some point because his mic fucks up.
That's not the picture I'm seeing on his Discord right now. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, just keep playing it. I'll try and find him.
Karatos community, like, she jokingly called herself.
Literally, all I was going to do was pull up his social media and say, this is why you'll never make it. But, you know, it's fine.
Okay, so. I don't know about that. I'm just saying from what I can see. I don't have that in front of me. From what I've seen, there are a lot of behaviors that I can, like, say. I think there's a lot of people who are behaving really shitty in this. But, like, again, I think that there are legitimate criticisms to be made.
Okay. Conqueror, based message. I'm going to delete it. Don't use just straight up slurs. I know that one's a bit on the line. But just, you know, be a bit smarter. Play smarter, okay? Play smarter. Just don't use words like that, because it might bait YouTube into fucking with me.
I don't think that, like, dismissing all of the criticisms because of the actions of some people being really shitty is, like, a good thing to do.
Rezzy, what is your fear in separating or distancing?
What do you mean?
Like, from what I understand, you are distancing yourself. Like, is it the same thing as what I just said, or what is?
Basically, because I felt that I had a conversation with Foodshops. I felt I had a conversation with her about this forever ago. I think there is a much different tone if you're going ahead and having a conversation with somebody who's arguing from like the idea that maybe we shouldn't like just kill pedophiles, right? Like hypothetically, right? Say that's like a take. And then like that's what I was like, oh, okay, so that's what this is. Kind of confirmed that with her. Not that it was like in some way a little bit of like a.
Dude, I hate that Rezzivaer does this whole kill all pedophiles and rapists shit. It's so cringe, man. It's so fucking cringe.
That is Sam the Human, by the way. Yeah.
That is Sam the Human. Have we got any social media? Can I pull up his stats real quick? Can I see how far denouncing slightly mean nicknames is getting him?
Oh, his Twitter's down. Let's see, YouTube. Nothing on YouTube. 10 subscribers, 1 video. His Twitch. Where's his about section? Let's see. He's got a Discord. And he's got a link tree. Fuck me. Nope, it's the same shit. No, he's basically got nothing.
Okay, well,
150
Sam,
followers on Twitch.
You're not cut out for this. Hang it up. Don't even start.
Self-aggrandizement to try to defend like behaviors and whatnot. But yeah, generally speaking, I think it's also just the callousness and just not really being there during the conversation that really kind of looked back on. I was just like, yeah, I don't know. So I took a distance, and then I don't know. I guess the rest is history now. So it's that's a thing.
What happened after that? Sorry, I don't follow all of the stuff. Can you just tell me what
I gotta run to the restroom real quick.
Running from the debate. Look at that.
Have fun.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't know what.
You said the rest is history. Can you go over that history?
Yeah, everybody calls Foodshops a pedophile, and no one talks to her anymore. Yeah, that's the rest is history.
Do you call her a pedophile, and do you not talk to them?
I don't necessarily think she's a pedophile. I think there's like something weird going on there, but I'm not really there to go ahead and specifically say that. I didn't really even watch the video. I think that engaging in lolly, probably pedophile stuff. At least there's something there, but I don't know. I don't know if it matters if I think she's a pedophile. I feel like on like a personal level, a little bit of like frustration and anger at how my platform was treated during the whole thing. And I think that's kind of becoming more of my guide during this, rather than going ahead and actually engaging in this. Because generally speaking, I do think that there is a good point to be brought up that I do think that the one thing that she had with Destiny, where he's like, yeah, people that are probably molesting children are probably the dudes that are like, hey, are you molesting children on the internet? I definitely know people that are probably closer along those lines. Of people online, at least in my experience with these online games.
Tend to be the pedos, is what you're saying?
Say that one more time.
You're trying to say the pedo catchers tend to be the pedos?
Yeah, it's like it happens often. That like you have like some other weird or otherwise like kind of like aggressive, I guess, to a point. Like I've known like a bunch of people that are like, oh yeah, this is like kind of the thing that we're doing, is trying to show this off. And it's like, okay, cool. And then like you see pictures of like them beating their wives or doing some other like insane activity, right? And I think that a lot of it is virtue locking. I haven't really talked about it much. I talked about it the next day, where I'm just like, I think that the question still hasn't been solved. I don't think there really was a lot of clarity put towards what Food's actual position was on it, from what I saw in the video.
What do you mean source on? He's referring to a Destiny clip where Destiny said, who gives a shit about lolly, it's fucking drawings, bro. You know what? I think the people that are always looking for pedos and fucking everything are probably the pedos themselves. That's roughly what I said in the clip. That is what Destiny said.
Yeah. Let's make the distinction. No one was looking for a pedo.
Yeah, no one was looking for pedos. We came across some private VODs and asked a few questions, and everything else was volunteered. Okay. I'm not even accusing her of being a pedo, really. I'm joking about her being a pedo, because, I don't really care about the distinction when you admit to liking lolly in terms of jokes. But I'll sit here and say, I don't think liking lolly necessarily makes you a pedo. We don't have hard proof she's a pedo. It's just she's very fucking weird. And there was certainly no pedo hunting or pedo catching going on. That shit is incredibly cringe.
And I don't know. I have no idea.
The thing is that Food's position is like just by definition just super sussy. Like it's not a dichotomy between like the people that go out there and they accuse people of being pedophiles. It's like, oh, maybe these guys are the actual pedophiles. It's like, well, on the other side you have a bunch of people that like play around with the idea of being a pedophile, or play around with the idea of defending pedophilia, or play around with the idea or like blur the lines of whether or not they're a pedophile. And that's something that Foodshops was doing, was actively trying to create this idea of like, am I a pedophile? Am I not? And like dancing around it. And at the same time having a huge history of like trying to empathize with pedophiles, trying to get people to not demonize pedophiles, while also talking about like what their sexual fantasies are. And like there's just so much sussy shit in the mix that I don't think it's even fair to just like kind of throw your hands up. Like, sure, you can say like, I don't know whether or not she's a pedophile, but obviously like she is saying I am pedophilic.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what she
yeah, I
said.
think I shut that.
And
show, yeah.
her video as well cleared nothing up for me. Like, it gave me no, like, it didn't. I thought the idea of this was like, this is my defense video, but instead it's just like, hey, look, people are calling me a pedophile, and then just kind of that's it.
Yeah,
And
that's there are. I like the editing.
it was good editing. Yeah.
I feel like can I just be honest? I don't really think that this video is about pedophilia. I think this video is about how I'm a shitty friend, and I actually do, in a small ways, like the music got to me, dude.
Dude, you were like a 5-minute segment of a 30-minute video. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy.
And I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, it was about you, Chud, and Jenny, just like you guys kind of suck, and that's
we're
it.
horrible. Worst people ever.
That's what I got from it. And instead, I thought it was going to be like, this is my
but at the
defense,
same time,
this is
doesn't actually go into like, oh, what do I think about Lilycon? What do I think about like the pedophilic desires that I admit to having?
It's written off. If you read the document,
Destiny makes a valid point. Those tend to be a bit off. Yeah, I think people are shit talking Destiny because it's just the way the people invoke him on this panel, as if like his word is law, is incredibly fucking cringe. But I do agree with him on the pedo hunting shit. Like that Mama Max guy. If it comes out that Mama Max rapes kids, I will be totally unsurprised. Like no one makes like what was the fucking super cringe one? Was it Pick a Side YouTube or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, even if not fucking like he is actively trying to build. He wants a cult following. It's not just memes for god cult shit. He wants a parasocial community.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to foster. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
I mean, there's always rape allegations about him as well, and they're fucking abusive relationship shit.
Although, to be fair, a lot of that was overblown, but
some of it was overblown, but he definitely was fucking psycho towards some of those girls. At least one of them, I remember.
You're correct. The first one, the one that became later on, she's a not right. The one with dark hair, but his first girlfriend, some of the stuff that was going on, that was sus.
Yeah, he's definitely a fucking lunatic either way. Mama Max is the weirdo who deepens his voice on videos, right? Yes, he's the one who has a really goofy, normal voice, and then has like this modulated, pitch-shifted, fucking awful, cringe, deep voice for his newer videos. MM beat the first allegations. Yeah, I mean, Destiny sat there and fucking AFK watched it and didn't look at any of the evidence and declared Mama Max innocent when he covered it, so...
It's in there. What she thinks about a little bit. It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah, the document is heavy reading. I'm going through it as well, Sam.
Yeah. So I read it while I was like, I watched the video and I read it earlier, and like I don't know. There's like again, I read the links. I've looked at some, like not every link. I didn't go to like I didn't watch the streams that I already watched. I didn't watch the hit piece to talk to anything. I didn't watch these like streamable links.
Also, can I just clear something up? That stream I did the next day was just this is what I'm doing going forward on streams.
Okay, it's a hit piece.
I didn't realize that was a fucking hit piece. If everybody wants a hit piece, I will put one together and it'll be awesome. I promise you. Yeah, I am doing that. But regardless, it'll be after Thanksgiving. So
she talked about more on her live stream.
I don't know. I'll cobble one together about Foodshops because like I keep getting.
Oh, this is cringe. No, don't do that. This is cringe. What comes up here?
I think I have one that you could. I have a pair of people that you could do it on.
Okay.
Are they pedophiles?
No, like actually, if you want, like
So like Lauren trying to solicit hit pieces. Like, what is this cringe shit, bro? Make your own fucking video, Domi, you stupid doxing bitch.
Love putting docs together, dude. I love doing it. It's like fucking hobbies.
It is like your fetish.
I really do. I love making graphs and shit.
Yeah,
I have really good note-taking abilities. I'm really good at taking notes.
She'll talk about more on her live. So wait, Mantis just said she'll talk about it more on her live stream. Is Mantis saying that there was a live stream, or she will talk about it in the future?
I believe
I'm assuming she's going.
She's going.
So from what I understand about the Jenny stuff, in some way Jenny felt that Foodshops had like implicated her in some way. I might be speaking for her, which I fucking hate doing, but she's not here. So her reaction seems to be strong because the implication was, hey, you just released this video, but you're friends with Foodshops. And Jenny didn't know any of this. Jenny does actually have quite strong opinions on this stuff, clearly. Yeah. And the implication that Jenny was writing this shit off was a really
Tom is the blandest individual in this space on YouTube. I swear him and Stardust are plants. I thought they'd be more successful if they were plants. So to be fair, Tom's doing pretty well these days. But yeah, absolutely some of the most bland people ever. Just like completely void of personality.
Strong implication. So that's sort of like the strength of...
Yeah, I think that's like the bigger... That's my bigger frustration with the whole thing. Sorry, Beckett. Is that it was like, I talked to Jenny, like, I had that thing, I went ahead, I rewatched old conversations I had with Foodshops just to be like, did I miss something here? Am I retarded? I am, but like, it's special. But like, so yeah, like I ended up talking to Jenny that next morning and I'm just like, yeah, like I want to know like what the fuck is going on because I'm just waking up and seeing everything. And she's like, yeah, that's not what the conversation was. So like, that was kind of information there too. Well, I'm just like, yeah, don't lie.
When you watch the video, in the video, Foodshop says, I told Jenny to just not engage with me anymore for her own optics and blah blah blah. But when you read the DMs, it's more like Jenny being like, "Don't ever fucking talk to me again. I don't ever want to see you." Like, it's like, wait, the way you're saying this is not what the DMs say. Like,
okay, but here's the thing: Foodshops said that first, then Jenny said that. So like, it makes sense.
That's all that Foodshop says out loud. But in the DM,
oh, one minute, I got something in DMs here about the lolly legality. Still on the lolly legality issue here. So, under California Penal Code 311.3, Child P includes material that depicts children and minors simulating or engaging in sexual conduct. However, the law does not explicitly mention lolly or material similar to lolly. In the case of the People versus Gerber, 196, California, the California Court of Appeals ruled that CP requires a real child engaged in sexual conduct or stimulated sexual conduct. If you apply this ruling, lolly would not be illegal in California. However, because lolly remains illegal under federal law, if you watch or possess lolly in California, you could still be arrested on federal pornography charges.
America is so fucking retarded sometimes.
I just don't. How is this? How do they even apply this law then?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same shit happened with all the cannabis dispensaries. Like, yeah. They seem to be selectively busting people. It wasn't like they were hitting every single place that was selling weed. They were just going for the larger distributors. So, like, you probably would find, somebody just in terms of personal possession, would probably skate. But if you found someone actually distributing it in a larger network, those people will probably be prosecuted federally.
Yeah. Beckett should do his roleplay of a 40k character in this. That would rock. Jesus Christ.
It gives you a very different
she never
impression
plays
from what she's saying out loud.
She never plays the one clip about the 12-year-old either, so.
Yeah, Jenny felt like, again, we didn't talk about it much, if I'm completely honest, because I was incredibly fucking hungover and away.
It's okay, I talked for a few hours.
Generally Jenny felt like dropped in it. She was fucking pissed, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, I think that kind of speaks to the strength of that reaction. I think from Rezzi's side as well, like when I came onto Rezzi's stream hammered, even I remember...
That's so funny that Jenny is so upset about that, because it's entirely my fault that she's even involved in this. So that does bring a smile to my face, I must say.
His entire chat being like, "Hey Beckett, if you want to catch up, she said these things," and they're not just, "Hey, I watched LollyCon." And that's kind of the issue when you're doing the calculation, right? So I get it. Are
you drunk now, or like you fucking do? You just said you woke up.
He just
sound
woke
like
up. He's just tired.
He's just tired. This is some fucking bullshit, dude. Fucking get on American schedules, dude. Get on American schedules. We don't get to fucking sleep here, bitch.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's because it costs you shit.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't know. I think I haven't seen Chud's coverage of it. Okay.
It was literally just clips. It was like 3 clips.
Foodshops have shown. But like, I think the other side of this is it's quite obvious that Spicy went after Foodshop. Like in a really serious way.
Went after. What does that mean? What does he say there?
The other side of this is it's quite obvious that Spicy went after Foodshop. Like in a really serious way.
In a really serious way. Bro, how?
And again, once again, Spicy. Who the fuck is Spicy?
Yeah. Literally.
Retarded, man.
Half of Spicy were calling me obsessed and retarded for covering this for the first week.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a unified front here. They were like, "Oh, it was funny when you went on and shouted her on that stream, but everything past that was just retarded."
And that is part of the course. Anytime anything happens regarding Spicy, there's always dissension in the ranks. It's like it's not a unified effort, guys.
It's a fucking chat room, bro.
Hive mind, yeah. There's more infighting that goes on in Spicy than in Twitch poll in general. Like, calm the fuck down.
I think they're proud of it. And that's like the other thing.
That's the thing, though, is that every time they go after somebody, even if you like disagree with what the person did, they end up hurting that force that people would want to put behind condemnation, because now they don't want to be in line with them. They don't want to be associated with them and their harassment campaigns and the shit that they do. Yeah. So it kind of fucks over any sort of real condemnation that these people might get, because it's freaking.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're in social and they like it that way.
But yeah, to be fair, I think Beck and I both said we pointed out
how I assume it's in reference to Spicy going after Foodshops. What I don't understand what Beckett's impression of this is, but what happened was Boots went on Foodshops and argued with SFO. Then the next day, Foodshops was on Rezzi talking about what happened, and then just starts mentioning Spicy apropos of nothing.
Yeah, that all came about because Boots was speaking to him, and there's people who are friends or fond of Boots in some capacity. People just mentioned it a few times and made the odd mean joke. That's it. That's all Spicy's involvement was ever in the first instance.
Yeah, and then it just became me covering it on stream, and then people talk about it.
Yeah,
because I'm the designated streamer in Spicy Chat at the moment.
Specific behaviors from them that we disagreed with, right? With like the Amos she thing and everything. I think like what you're saying, Tom, was also what I said earlier, where it's like
So Jim Bleak's saying, who is Spicy? Gringle, Mantis, Lisa, Tornado, Kane, and DK. You're looking for someone to blame, then look no further. Exactly. Like, it's so crazy, Jack. Like, it's a monolith when you've got all these different types of people in there that are like, plenty of them would never be involved in anything like this. It is unfathomable that some people in Spicy don't want to be wholesome Chungus friends with everyone in Twitch. Yeah, literally. Yeah, go for it, bud.
Yeah, for real. Like, most of the moderation team in Spicy Chat is having weekly therapy sessions as a consequence of being a moderator in Spicy Chat. Like, right.
There's like there are legitimate criticisms, but like, and then there's like this other thing that's happening, and like legitimate criticisms are getting like washed away with the arguments against like that, oh look, Spicy Chat is going after me, so therefore everything that's being said is just shitty, or like whatever happened with, I don't really understand the Jenny thing, but whatever happened there is like bad. So like,
yeah, two things can be true at the same time, right?
Right.
So
yeah, guys, I don't want to keep pulling more people on. There's other people that I invited ahead of time, so I know that there's a bunch of people in the waiting room, but
we invite them, all right?
Wow.
You can bring Samantha in because I'm gonna be leaving here in a second.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 more people that are on their way, and so I'm keeping that in mind as far as.
Keep 9.
Sorry.
You just want to keep only 9 people on the screen? Is that what you're saying?
I'm actually getting a notification.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm getting a message being delivered to me from the Spicy Chat people.
Fucking Christ.
I know. Saying, please correct the stupid blanks on this panel. The Foodshops actually.
There was a 6-letter F slur, just for clarity. Just for full disclosure, that was a 6-letter F slur. That's what I called these people.
You talk to us first.
I don't care.
He didn't read the other 2 messages, but I followed it up with, okay, we'll listen to this a bit first.
No difference.
Right.
Ignorance is different than stupidity. Can you let the stupid people who wrote you that message be notified of such a thing?
So Lauren said, ignorance is different to stupidity. Can you let the stupid people who sent you that message know that? And I replied, Lauren is stupid and ignorant. She can barely follow the conversation as a net drag on the viewer experience. Rezzivaer chose not to read that one out, I noticed. He chose not to read that part out.
What? I mean, they're probably watching. Like, that's
you can just tell them. They're clearly watching the fucking stream.
I'm unaware of anything. You're not stupid just because you don't know something. Just because you're unaware of something. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've got no idea how this, like...
I bet you don't.
I've got no idea of the timeline of it. But, like, yeah, it went hard. I don't think that's a controversial statement. Kuihman did, like, 2 streams on this and really wanted to talk to Foodshops and had that conversation and went full assassin mode.
I think there's something to be said about... So there's...
Went full assassin mode.
No idea of the timeline of it. But, like, yeah, it went hard. I don't think that's a controversial statement. Kuihman did like 2 streams on this and really wanted to talk to Foodshops and had that conversation and went full assassin mode.
Kuihman went full assassin mode. Okay, Roddy. Okay, I'll take it. And that
timeline's completely off anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd already spoken to Food Stamps when Jenny Matrix's video came out. Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about... So there's something that Foodshops was doing during all of this where it seemed like Foodshops... It almost seemed like a like live stream manic episode of just like trying to stir up shit with as many people as possible. Not even just... Oh,
look, you can see I've traumatized Samantha Savage here. Kuihman waits to talk to Food Stamps because they both love Lolly. You are traumatized, dude. It's over for you.
Spicy chatter.
You're next. You're next, Savage. You're next.
Actually, like, I think the same day she talked to Kuihman, she had streamed for like 11 hours, and she was literally trying to stir up drama with anyone possible. I know that some of you guys were there when she decided that she wanted to stir up drama with like President Sunday, bring him in, let's make some content or whatever. She kept talking about how like she's never had this many viewers before.
So it was the day after this, I believe, that I spoke to her. However, yeah, what KidnotKin's... I hate this guy, but what he's saying here is true. She was like having like some kind of fucking manic breakdown or some shit, just desperately trying to like throw shots at everyone in this like 11-hour long stream.
Yeah, well, we watched the clip of Rezzivaer's stream the day afterwards where KidnotKin was in Rezzivaer's chat and he was basically saying how she's a lolcow.
Yeah, she's trying to be a lolcow, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like pressing Rezzivaer to like basically say it out loud, and that's for time. And then Foodshops made 4 appearances, and it was that whole 5-minute countdown bullshit. Yeah, it was cringe, but yeah.
So she just wants to do this like manic shit, fucking create a bunch of drama, and it seemed like she was actively trying to seek out the most confrontation possible.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you do that, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
To be fair, everyone did warn her about this.
Yeah.
Right? I think everyone had a conversation was like, if you do this, that'll be the fucking outcome because these people won't pull punches.
I'm getting asked also to bring up
Foodshops on President Sunday. When was Foodshops on President Sunday?
No.
Is
She pulled President Sunday on her stream.
Yeah, she wanted to talk to him. She kept saying she wanted to talk to him, but then she brought him on and had, like, kind of had a conversation with him, then kicked him, and then kicked me, and it was I don't know. It was like a manic thing. Like, it was all very. It didn't make sense.
So just to be clear, because I know Kid wants to say something. Just for the timeline. So wait, because I know that she called them mental rapists. Did she do that out of nowhere?
Yeah, she did that on my stream. Yeah.
Fuck me. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I also have one more message. I have one more message. Actually, this one's directly for Sam. From somebody telling me to tell you, AoE2 is king. Tell that cuck to Minecraft themselves.
Right now,
Yeah, no
because I don't have a MacBook right now.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hey, sir.
So, what's the topic? What's going on?
Foodshops.
Why join if you don't know what's being spoken about? This is a classic Stardust moment, isn't it? Oh, people are cool. Better just get myself in there. Okay.
My boyfriend pissed me off with global warming talk. That was supposed to be spent for you to
You
piss
don't let
me off.
nothing go. You don't let it go.
I'm gonna be honest. I did not hear a single thing that anybody heard, like, said, because everybody was talking at the same time. So
yeah, I didn't hear.
Yeah. Lauren, what did you say?
Your boyfriend pissed me off with global warming talk, and that was meant for you to piss me off.
In my response, she has a long memory.
So I know you guys were talking about food shop stuff. What's the verdict here?
It's complicated.
Yeah, pick your own adventure.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
How is it that thin prick in the top left has made a living acting like a twat? I do that for free. Clown emojis. Okay. Look, to be fair, Beckett doesn't stream for a living, I don't believe. Beckett has a real job. And like isn't it like a master's in counter-terrorism or some shit like that?
Yeah,
So
and
he's
he
not-
works in some kind of ecological capacity, yeah. He's an actual proper professional.
Yeah. Beckett's not a total online retard, so...
And he does actively like kind of distance himself from the idea of it being a streamer. He does treat it as a hobby.
Yeah.
To the person in your chat, yeah, I didn't communicate any of the shit. I am taking full responsibility for that. That's fine.
Okay. Do you recognize calling a trans woman a pedophile is a death sentence?
I feel like I said that it didn't matter if you were or not.
Okay. Yeah, so... The Sleepy just sent me that clip, you just had the audio from it on stream, Bug didn't hear it, but basically, it's... Foodshop saying that calling a trans person a pedophile is basically a death sentence to Rezzivaer last night, I guess. Which, yeah, Sleepy's pointing out that obviously she didn't give a fuck about that when she was watching Jenny Matrix's video. Which is just a nice little point of hypocrisy there.
Okay, so and this could just be me being naive, but so she obviously has admitted that she's like into loli, right? But 2, I do think that she was joking about like the PDF file stuff. 3, I find it really hard for me to parse because you know, just like a few months ago, we were all interacting with Mr. Girl, and you know, we've got people in our space that make worse jokes, you know. And I don't know, it's very hard for me because like on one end, do I think loli is super fucking degenerate? Absolutely. Like I think loli is super fucking degenerate, 100%. But at the same time, like I also think that like porn that has like petite women who don't look like they're sexually developed in it, like that worries me, and that scares me.
Guys, it's a drinking game. Every time
Stardust mentions
Stardust
petite.
says petite,
Yeah.
take a shot.
Have the ambulance on speed dial, because it's going to be a long one. Fuck me. It's just crazy because, like, she's saying this, like, oh, well, everyone was fine with talking to Mr. Girl. It's like, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. What are you on about? It's like she's trying to do this double standard point, but it's like everyone... When Mr. Girl showed up, there were loads of fucking people that absolutely hated him and hated the fact streamers were having him on. I mean, Beckett is... I've literally been in Beckett's stream when he said shit like, oh, from the very start I said people shouldn't have Mr. Girl on. You know, it's like the idea that everyone was like, oh, everyone's super chill with Mr. Girl, but now it's a trans person, everyone cares so much. No, that's not the case at all. Loads of people fucking hated Mr. Girl.
Here, to be clear, the way that she defines loli is drawn child porn. She says that she's into drawn child porn.
Oh, look, we got Operative Queller in chat here. Foodshop says she is into petite Stardust. Listen to the jizzle combo again. She means Rezzivaer here, I think.
Directly from her manifesto, like a direct quote from
You gotta read the manifesto, dude. Yeah. It's like it keeps getting deeper.
I just want to read this one line from the manifesto.
Okay.
Out of all topics, paedophilia has been one of the most well-poisoned topics ever. I truly believe that in order to talk about it, good and honest discourse has to be held. I've heard this take so many fucking times from people who want to have this conversation over the years, and it's never a good fucking opener to it. And also, even if that was true, joking about like her joking about her tastes
Yeah.
is not how to open an honest dialogue about
No,
it.
I agree
even
with
if
you.
it is a joke.
I don't think anybody should be joking about it. I think that was like phenomenally stupid of her. You know, like incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll be honest. Now I'm reading the manifesto. It gets worse. I
have not read.
Oh no, Beckett. Okay, we'll take that as normal speed here. If Beckett's about to start breaking down over this manifesto, this is what I want to see.
Read the manifesto yet, so
yeah.
you know.
So the other thing I'm being asked to point out that the link that she posted for POCD says that they avoid situations in which that intrusive thought is confirmed. That's directly from her link.
So we spoke about this earlier. There's just no way that someone with actual throwing through POCD is going to be seeking out lolly. That's not going to happen.
I'm not a medical expert. I'm not making any conclusion. That's what's in her link, and I'm being told that like I need to point that out. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I will take your guys' word for it. I honestly had been avoiding the drama. Well, not really avoiding. I was.
See, look at that Freudian slip there. She doesn't want to acknowledge that she was avoiding it to try and maintain a connection with food stamps. She doesn't want to acknowledge that, but she just let it slip so bad. You fucking idiot, Stardust. Such an amateur, man. It's crazy.
Just too busy with like geopolitics stuff, but yeah, I
Should I kick at you, bug? busy with geopolitics.
Yeah, like shut up, you. No, you were not.
You daft.
You were
bitch.
sat on a stream with people talking about Israel and Palestine with your fucking mouth wide open.
Yeah,
you fucking idiot.
Bryce and some other sped sit there and dryly discuss military strategy for 3 hours.
Fucking what a retard! Christ Almighty,
bro, it's so crazy. The Dunning-Kruger is strong.
kind of caught up with things kind of today, but I hadn't looked at like the written manifesto. So
yeah, I mean, I want to be clear. I make jokes about this stuff all the time. I just have no skeletons in my closet to where I'm.
Do we believe him? Do we believe Tom on that one? No skeletons in your closet, Tom? Not sure about that one, Tom.
I know that but somebody with skeletons in their closet.
We've seen the sort of women you chase after, Tom. You've got a whole other list of fucking
absolutely petite, Tom. Absolutely petite.
But yeah, but like it is like that is the issue, is that even for people who want to say like, well, some of these things are just jokes, like even if they are, once you admit that you actually have real attractions to younger people, you cannot joke about those things. Like you're one of the people who just cannot make those jokes, and it changes the context immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's impossible to not take that seriously anymore. So it can't really be a joke in its nature. At least no one could read it as a joke in its nature once you say that. I think she really damned herself with admitting that that's how she views it, which I guess on the one hand is good for us. We understand like where she's coming from. That's a great question. Maybe she's arrogant.
You gotta turn yourself up, Base. You got really quiet.
Yeah,
I do think it's a great question why she did that. But you know, like I said, maybe she's arrogant. Maybe she's obnoxious. I don't know. But when you say that, I do indeed view this as like drawn CP. Yeah, that's game over. You're telling us that that's how you're interacting with the material. So I think that's kind of open shut on that one.
Well, I mean, it's just honest. I mean, at the end of the day,
I mean, do I agree with that point? I felt like when I just heard that point, initially I was like, oh, there's actually a point to that, but I don't know if that's true. I feel like she's trying to be like honest about it, like kids about to say, I think, where she's saying like, you know, I'll acknowledge that this is drawn CP. I don't know if what she's necessarily saying there is like the way I engage with this is as a drawn substitute to CP. Those are two slightly different statements, I think, but we'll see. We'll see what Kid says here.
Somebody is saying that they watch Lolly, regardless of if they're saying that it's like drawn child porn. They're being open about that. The thing is that like again, for me, it's like if someone is saying that they are sexually attracted to drawn children, or saying that they're sexually attracted to people that look like...
Is this Danabo in the chat? That's the icon you used, wasn't it? For the top chimp or whatever it is channel?
What's the username?
Dream Homie. I think that's a Dream Home. I would find this fucking channel there. Huh. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Danaboy, who's sitting here saying, is there anyone who disagrees it was a bad joke as an intro to the serious convo? Well, no, none of None of what she said was a bad joke to intro any convo. I don't even know what you could be referring to there.
Children.
Fucking idiot.
That's gonna be probably like one of the biggest red flags.
This guy should stick to ruining the guy's editing for's career by getting his channel demonetized with insane thumbnails and shit. That's what this guy should stick to. Stop commenting on drama. You already failed once, okay, bro?
For me, and like I don't even think it matters whether or not you say that you know for sure that she is a pedophile. That is like enough grounds to just be like, okay, I am not associating.
Can I make a super liberal argument that I've heard from a liberal? And I heard this.
Is it Destiny? Is this Destiny's argument? Is this your argument?
Technically, I heard this from Hunter Avalon.
Oh,
Okay, I'm curious.
all right.
I'm
Well,
curious.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
So you
Arbiter.
heard it from Destiny.
Lie. This is one of those
That's
times where
funny.
you lie.
No, I heard it from Hunter Avalon.
No, they're
Anyway,
joking.
Whatever. Anyway, so I essentially there's a difference between people who abuse people and people who are attracted to minors. So allegedly, there are a lot of people who are attracted to minors.
Okay, I can't. I just can't. She's the worst.
Minors who never abuse anyone. Simultaneously, there are people who are predators who abuse everyone, any vulnerable person.
Yes, 90% or whatever it is of CS. What is it? Fuck, not CSAM. CSA, I guess, or CSE. I think they usually call it child sexual exploitation. CSE. I think it's like 90% of CSE is not committed by pedophiles. It's committed by opportunists or whatever. That's what I've always heard from Mr. Girl, anyway. So I take that with a pinch of salt, I guess. But that is the narrative that I hear. So yeah, this is true, but it's like this is like shit that I'm sure everyone here has heard before. I don't know why she's pitching in with it as if it's like brand new. Yeah. Just once again, Lauren doing
Yes, just real quick.
That is true.
Hold on. So yes, it is true. There's a difference between somebody who has attraction to minors, and most of the people who actually molest minors are not pedophiles. They have an attraction to the power imbalance. The thing is that Foodshops says the thing that she finds attractive about Lolly is the power imbalance. So it doesn't. It still all adds up.
So yeah, Tom making a good point here, which is that even if you take this excuse, food stamps still falls under the race category, right? So
one way or the other,
it's worse. It just keeps getting
so it's
worse.
opportunistic in a way, right? Like, yeah, most of
always
the people.
opportunistic.
I'm sorry.
I think it's always opportunistic.
Well, yeah. Well, no, but what I'm saying is like when these people who like violate children or violate people against their will, like Tom said, like it's usually about power, right, for them, and it's also like a little bit of like opportunistic as well. But most of the time they don't even have that disorder. And the weird part is that about that disorder is that it is true that those people like they.
Oh, guys, 42 people here. Like, sub, and dono. Thank you very much. Like, sub, dono. Like, sub, dono. Thank you very much.
They have a delusion, that they view these, young people who can't possibly consent to anything. They have a delusion where they think that they can be involved in a romantic relationship. They can consent, and that's, that's where, that's a huge issue itself. So yeah, the whole thing is very uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable with this drama. I'm very uncomfortable with it. I would say that. Yeah. So.
Is it true she defended virtuous pedophiles?
Yes.
Oh, fuck me, okay.
The video's up if you want to watch it. I think still too.
Wait, what is that?
Wait, what?
Virtuous pedophiles is something that came up as a conversation about 7 years ago, which is like people who are self-admitted.
With who?
Like this is like a long-running thing. It started with Salon, like the publication Salon was started writing about it in 2013.
The thing that Mr. Girl talked a lot about as well.
Yeah, it's basically that like people self-admit, but they're like, but actually I'm aware and can be around children and actually do good things and you should advocate for it. It's like a long-running meme that people keep saying things like this and then they turned out to be working in fucking schools and shit. So it's like the worst thing you can fucking say. So I just wanted to be clear that that's the thing she actually said because I heard it.
Would you argue that there are no virtuous?
I have to skip this because this is when fucking Lauren Daly goes on like a 5-minute rant about the fucking Prestasia Foundation or whatever the fuck it's called. I just cannot stand to listen to that. Like, yeah, everyone saw that fucking the videos about Prestasia fucking 3 years ago. We do not need this retarded discourse again, poorly summarized by one of the least intelligent people in Twitch poll.
Right, you're defending me.
Yeah, did you throw Tom under the bus?
Yeah, I absolutely threw Tom under the fucking bus off that panel. I was very angry about that.
Everybody threw me under the bus. It was like, yes, it's just a thing you do.
Wait,
Shit goes down,
under the bus
probably
the other
Tom's
day.
fault.
Why does it feel like Beckett is the most sane person on this panel? Because I think he might be. I think Beckett is the most normal person here. I mean, maybe we can make an argument for KidnotKin, though he's a prick. But yeah, Beckett's probably the most normal one on this panel, to be honest.
Yeah, while Beckett is a bit of a retard, he's not stupid at all.
he's retarded, but he's not stupid.
Yeah. I made that distinction.
Yeah, no, there is a distinction. I agree.
No, we had a nice conversation about it.
I guess for those who don't know what we're talking about, there was a map panel a while ago where we had like 4 people anti-map for people, pro-map. Some of them were actual maps. Then, towards the end,
Some of them was a
I
grooming
realized-
victim of one of the people on the panel.
Yes. Towards the end, I realized one of them was 16 years old, and that he was
Yeah, I'm gonna let us play for a moment. Let's go on to the toilet.
there advocating for maps and for children to be capable of being in relationships with adults. And I was like, whoa, I don't want to be on a freaking panel with a freaking 16-year-old. What the fuck? And we just like ended the whole thing. It blew up. Everybody was super pissed off that like not only that the panel would be held in the first place, but that a 16-year-old would somehow get onto the panel. And yeah, it was messed up.
Okay, I feel like I don't have much more to add, so I'm gonna head out. Have a lovely night, everybody. Love you all.
Thank you, sir.
Safe.
Figure, Sam.
Safe.
Be good.
I'd be safe.
I was really sad. I hope that, I don't know, I liked Foodshops and we were friends, and I don't know if maybe they're struggling right now with something mentally and saying things.
Well,
Clicks.
to be clear, this discourse from Foodshops has been happening for a long time. This is a reoccurring topic. Not nearly to this extreme, but it's not like she just started talking about pedophiles.
Yeah.
I see.
Look, I don't know. I definitely empathize with you, Lauren, because like, you know, I do think that, I don't know. I have no idea what to think.
Okay, great time to come back.
Fucking hell.
I do think that I have no idea what to think. Bro,
Oh god,
she's so dense and shit. It's crazy.
it's actually painful. Like the
And she thinks she gets held to a different standard to male streamers as well. That's the most insane part. Is she thinks that this is all because people have like some crazy double standard, like misogynistic and shit. No, you're just a fucking retard, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You never have anything to say. You never have any original thoughts. You can barely form the thoughts you are ripping off from other people. It's just you had nothing ever.
Yeah, and she's one of these people as well. I've seen her do it while she's on the stream, speaking to chat like, how did I do, guys? How did I do? And you know it's going on constantly in the fucking Discord with the moderators. Like, who is not telling her the truth? Like, everybody, please, for the love of fuck, tell her the truth. You did awful. You do awful every single time you appear on the fucking stream. Christ, stop. Go away.
So crazy, man. Honestly.
You're friends
Honestly.
with them, right?
Yeah, so
You're friends
I'm
with
yeah. So, definitely.
So-
Anywhere labelled food stamps is obviously going to attract Stardust, says Maxi in chat. Thank you for that one.
So it's like hard because this person is very nice.
Well, so here's food for thought, though. Like, if a person is a pedophile, can they not be virtuous or kind in any other way? Does that just take
It's
over
food for
everything?
thought.
No, but like,
Well, actually, this brings me a real, actual question. Okay.
There's no evidence.
well, my
that
question is
Foodshops-
real. I mean,
No, I have a real one too. Trust me.
Lauren DeLaguna try to get her words out. She just can't. Thank fuck.
All
like,
right.
it was a bit of a pun, but you know.
No, I get that. What is worse, a Hamas terrorist who kidnapped?
Okay. I remember this bit.
Why does he do this?
Because he's a fucking retard and hates
The
content. I don't know, bro.
non-offending pedophile, and then also a offending pedophile, or an attempting to offend a pedophile.
Well, I mean, okay, if the Hamas person took
For fuck's sake, just get me out. Get me out. Oh, and then we've got Samantha
statistics do
Savage,
show
this
that most
disgusting
people who
freak
get
up here.
molested as children are actually not molested by actual pedophiles. They're usually molested by like just
Power
fucked up
brokers.
people.
Yeah.
This is a really, really terrible question, Rezzy.
Yeah,
I think
it's a weird
question.
Yeah.
I guess they're all equally evil. I don't know, just evil for
Hey,
different
I'm
reasons.
not sure if I'm seeing some stuff. I don't want to give away stuff because someone's sending it to me privately and they asked me not to say who they are. But I'm seeing some like behind the scenes like Discord messages, which make it seem like this group of people kind of ganged up on Foodshops and tried to make them seem like a creep when they're not.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, so-
Well, that's not the case at all, is it?
Who could possibly have sent you those, Lauren?
It's obviously
Who have you just said you were friends with?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Fuck me.
So retarded.
Real quick, just real quick. Hold on, just real quick. Yes, those are the people that we were talking about. But Foodshops has talked about this herself. She's talked about the fact that she watches this stuff. She's talked about the fact that she has POCD. That's the stuff that we're talking about. She's talked about the fact that she would cuddle with, or that she wants to cuddle with a 12-year-old. Like, she's talked about these things herself, said it with her own mouth.
That was a joke, I thought. Yeah, according to who? According to the person currently going through a massive drama that they want to get out of where they're being called a pedophile. Yeah, that's who it's according to.
That was
I don't know.
that was a joke. The 12-year-old thingy.
Why are we still calling her Stardust? Normally Stardust this wide is typically referred to as a comet, asteroid, or planetary body. That's a good one. That's a good one.
The person she was in the call with said it was a joke, right? And I honestly, like, I do think that, okay, no offense to Foodshops, but she is not the best with social situations.
Yeah,
she
of
is
course.
absolutely, like, I'm so sorry, but she is absolutely somebody who would be, you know, bad enough in a social situation to make really, really tasteless jokes like that, you know?
Sure. So, okay. So, like we were saying before, the jokes are not like it's hard to take a joke like that as a joke when the person has already said that they watch Lolicon and that they are and that they've had POCD. So with that,
this is like the arguments being made here are the exact same arguments I've made on stream every day for the last week. Yet why is it being claimed that we've tried to frame Foodshops or make her seem like, or targeted her with unfair, like, no, these are the exact things I have been saying like every fucking day. Yeah, for some reason it's bad when I say it. Crazy.
That said, she said these things with her own mouth. All of the shit from all of those other losers, like, yeah, of course, we've already said, like, we discount them and anything that they have to say about this, and we're not.
You're now one of the losers, Tom.
Yes, Tom, you're saying the same shit as me, you stupid fuck, you stupid bald fuck.
We're not really engaging with it, but they have pushed her to talk more about it and to give her own opinions on it and say stuff on it, and so that's why this is what it is now.
I don't know. Okay, like, I've had issues.
Is that someone joining the Discord call I just heard? Hello, Drifting Chris 29.
What's up, guys?
What's good?
Issues in the past for like.
Was that sorry? Your mic muffled.
What are you doing?
We're on stream, just so you know.
Fuck.
Yeah. But we're watching
the live channel.
That's true. We're not in the live channel. That's very true. But yeah, we're just watching the panel from last night.
Oh. Okay, well then I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Have a nice stream.
Catch you later.
Catch you in a bit.
Something in my past, and like the more you talk about it, the more you could get clipped out of context, and the more you can get like they can take what you're saying and twist your words. And I just like.
It's because you're not a mover and shaker, Kuihman. You didn't try to set up a bunch of gay little Twitch Discord councils. Yeah, that shit is so cringe. I saw that panel earlier.
Manifesto, and on different, like, on stream, she double and triple down on it. There's no twisting anything out of context. She wrote a manifesto saying she's attracted to, like, fucking drawn child pornography. What is it to take out of context? She fucking wrote it.
Yeah, at this point,
but like,
exactly,
I'm gonna be real. I am gonna be real with you guys. Like, again, like, I am more concerned about like people who watch like actual porn with like petite women.
You mean like Foodshops? You mean like Foodshops as she does?
Who look like they're not sexually developed than I am about somebody looking at like cartoon porn.
Here's the thing. I think
The discussion is she's saying she's attracted to like minors and wants to cuddle with minors and stuff like that, and watches this type of what she calls child pornography, drawn child pornography. So we're not talking about like, oh, it's not a discussion over
Oh, dude, I'm so glad I've got ops now. Holy fuck! Look, I can see my ops. 3 in a row there. 3 in a row of my ops. She does that too, you idiot. She said she was into petite body type Stardust. Food Stamps has the right to remain silent, but didn't.
I was going to say as well, I don't think I'm spoiling, but because I don't think it is mentioned. Rezzivaer, you're in the fucking call. It was said on your stream. Tell Stardust about the petite fucking...
Yeah, literally.
Right.
It's crazy how useless these people are. They don't retain any information or realize when to bring it up. It's crazy.
This, like, we're talking about like her own words, her own statements, her double tripling down. Like, that's the discussion at hand.
Also, like somebody engaging with full-grown adults who are fully capable of consenting, that, like, regardless of how they look, I have no worry about these people. It's the totally different conversation from.
I mean, I worry. I do have worry about people that are attracted to like the like women that like are of age, but they look like children, and people that are specifically like watching that kind of porn. Like you still get
have a specific attraction to that.
Yeah, the thing is, we're talking about red flags and what red flags you get. You still get them from those too. But in this context, we're talking about someone that's specifically saying that they're sexually attracted to drawn children. So like, yes, while this is also like red flags in its own right, this is a whole different conversation about this one person, this one specific type of pornography that they watch.
Since other people got to make comparisons, I would like to state that I find people that watch Vosh to be much worse than people that watch a child-drawn.
Almost no woman of age looks like a child. Deep, you clearly weren't here last night when me and Styler were discussing that one girl that gets posted on GIF all the time. There are definitely people who seek out these like women of age who look unironically like children. Some of that shit is freaky as fuck, but Stardust just raging over the fact that, you know, people like slim, small women is just crazy. Almost, says Deeper Armor. Yeah. What? Yeah, almost. You did say almost. Fair enough.
Pornography.
There's a case. There's a case for that.
Case.
It's an argument.
No, J. Cole. I'm talking worse than Boogie's GF. There's worse than Boogie's GF.
You're so quiet, Base. You
are. You keep getting quieter and quieter. I keep turning you up more and more, and then you keep getting quieter again.
Is it like a troll? Are you just gonna scream at us when we've all got you at like 200%?
No.
I'm not gonna turn him up. Fuck that. I don't trust shit.
No.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I know what you guys are saying, but again, like if it's I think it's degenerate. I do think that Loli is degenerate. But,
I just want to be clear. The word degenerate doesn't really say much. Like, it just...
This is very true. I'm guilty of this as well, but when people say degenerate, it is essentially just a virtue signal to say, well, I'm not into that. That is basically what's going on. So Tom is right to call this out.
I'm sorry, it doesn't say anything.
I just say it's not normal at that point.
Let's not like people are like.
Yes, everybody in this space is degenerate. Like, it's just a kind of...
I suppose that's true, yeah.
Not me. I'm a nice, good, conservative boy who's never done nothing.
Base, you're up at 200%, and I literally can't hear you at all.
I don't know, man. I don't know that I...
Yeah, it sucks.
No, but I don't know that I, like,
I don't know that I like 5-minute pause.
Like, I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable, the loli stuff. But like, at the end of the day, like anime does not look like real humans.
Well, okay, so like the problem is that like I think it's a mistake to look at people that like even if they're just into like hentai or whatever, to think that it's entirely within a vacuum and that there's no overlap with things that they could be attracted to in real life.
That isn't what she said, though.
It's supposed to represent, to some extent, maybe more or less, for people that are into like tentacle shit or whatever the fuck. It's supposed to represent more or less the things that they are attracted to, just in the aspect of it being drawn. I think to say that like there's no way to have like any assumption of overlap for someone that's into
there's absolutely could be overlap.
Children would be a mistake.
Yeah. No, they're absolutely.
Maybe instead of trying to be interesting with her words, maybe she could just record herself preparing a Tarka doll. What is a Tarka doll? Yeah, it's a curry. Okay. She should record herself preparing a Tarka doll instead to help her make the panel more colourful and flavoured. Okay. Saying liking loli doesn't make you a pedophile is like saying liking very porn doesn't make you a zoophile. Yeah, it doesn't, but it's heavily correlated. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, Rita, but that's how I would see it. It's not intrinsic, but it's heavily correlated.
absolutely probably is overlap, right? I just don't know, like, I just don't know if I feel comfortable like saying that, you know, Foodshops is like a PDF file, you know? I don't think I feel comfortable saying that. I just don't.
Okay, so the
Oh yeah, you
problem
don't
is
have
as
to.
well.
I
It's
don't think
really
you have to say whether or not Foodshops is in fact, matter-of-factly, proven to be a pedophile. But you can say, here is enough evidence that I don't want this person to be around children.
Yeah. Which I think we do have that evidence. Again, I think that we have the evidence that, like,
Stardust desperately track up with a way to cape food stamps on every point. She's like, how do I make it sound like lolicons are okay to be around children? How do I do that? It's just so crazy.
there shouldn't be kids in any of our servers, but especially hers after the things that she said. But I don't think this is enough to where I would recommend, or where I would say people need to disengage with her. But I understand if people do disengage with her, I understand why. But I'm not going to sit here condemning people for engaging with her, and I'm not going to get upset if people engage with her. But I think, like, yes, it is enough to say these are red flags. These are things to worry about. These are things to be concerned about. And I think that that's like as far as it goes.
Sure. Yeah,
So
I could definitely say that. I could definitely say that. So
Stardust, I have a question.
Yeah.
So given the way that you describe petite women as pedophilic,
This is Samantha Freak fucking wheezing as she tries to talk. Holy shit.
do you
I
consider
didn't say
like
pedophilic
femboy
specifically.
or more harmful
Well, she
than
said it
like
was
child
she
drawn
said-
pornography, right? Would you consider femboys in the same thing?
Is she eating while she's talking as well? Fucking disgusting.
When they dress like women but lack female secondary sex characteristics?
Yeah, if they look young enough, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
As I did not say it on Discord. I did not say it on Discord. That's misinformation. I did not spot brigading. That message is deleted. Stop fucking with me, Rita.
well, I do have a question for you. Do you think that there is a problem with dating a woman that looks petite or looks a little?
Why the fuck is Star so persistent with the gun guarding blackmail? No, there's two things going on. One, she's friends with food stamps, and two, she sees herself as a spicy chat victim after she fucking embarrassed herself a few months ago, trying to call us out. So she's just showing camaraderie with her fellow spicy chat victims. Liking furry is highly correlated with being a homosexual League of Legends Let's Player in my experience. Okay, very specific. Stardust is trauma bonding with food stamps. She doesn't want to exclude her. Oh, okay.
Younger.
I don't think there's like not necessarily. I think the issue is like when somebody is specifically only looking for like women who look underdeveloped sexually, who don't display secondary sexual characteristics.
So scrawny petite midgets.
Not even
Well,
midgets.
you could be
no,
like
midgets.
5'1", you know.
Yeah,
Midgets
so like,
can be,
yeah, you were
Yeah,
talking about
that'd be
secondary,
amazing.
like,
You stupid bitch. He just specified scrawny petite midgets. Fuck me, Stardust is so dumb. Why are you trying to make this distinction that, oh, well, midgets can have secondary sex? Yeah, everyone knows that. Everyone knows they can have secondary sex characteristics. But Samantha just specifically pointed out, specifically in the statement she made, said scrawny petite women. Midgets, right? Bro. You're the profile preview every time I shuffle for your handshake away from US President OH. Yeah, you've said that before, I think. You think this person's enough of a pedophile to take precautionary measures, but not enough to see her as an association risk. Yep, true.
little people get secondary sex
Yeah,
characteristics.
they
They get
get
tense
those,
and
yeah.
shit, you know?
But you could also
Yeah.
just be,
all that.
yeah, you could just be like short, you know, again 5'1", 5'2", and
But even
petite.
short,
Yeah, but those are
short is
manlets,
not-
though, and nobody's attracted to manlets.
So
Well, I was
short
talking
does
about
not
women.
describe what like petite is,
Whatever,
right?
same
Like
thing.
when I'm talking about petite, I'm talking about people who like when I'm talking about a very specific group, right? Of people, women who are smaller, have a smaller frame, and also their secondary sexual characteristics do not look as pronounced.
Guys, we're on 2 hours of streaming now. 2 hours of streaming. Like, sub, and dono. Thank you very much. Like, sub, and dono. Thank you.
All right, yeah. Nobody can watch Korean porn anymore.
But it's not even about that. I'm talking about.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Not as pronounced, or just not there?
I would say like not there or borderline, you know? So, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's one. Obviously, it's ethical if you're in a relationship with an adult that can consent or whatever. But the thing is, if there are people that are primarily attracted to people that happen to look like children, there's enough there to say that there's a red flag, regardless. Even if it is a consensual relationship or whatever, and you say that their relationship is fine. But especially if you see it in some sort of a pattern, you can still say, okay, there's probably a worrying pattern here.
Hmm. I think the only thing
Stardust.
Go ahead. Ask her.
Okay, so as it is, Foodshops has already said that she is not attracted to like underdeveloped bodies. What she's attracted to is the power dynamic that is found in Lolly, and that
and underdeveloped bodies. Just to be clear, and underdeveloped bodies.
Power dynamic is that there is an adult that has de facto power over the child in the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So, and then she has argued.
I just want to caveat that real quick. She did say that, but she also talked about the
Wagwan, not Owen. It should be illegal for unfunny people to try and make jokes on live broadcasts. True. Shot Game has pivoted to every time you hear secondary sexual characteristics.
POCD, and so the combination of those two things are almost contradictory.
I don't believe the POCD thing, because when the way that she was describing it didn't...
Based Zonia, the first person to come out and just straight up say, I do not believe her claim. So based. I gotta say, not a massive Zonia fan all the time. Got my issues with her. But here, very based to be the only one brave enough to come on here and say, I think she is lying about her mental health issues. Very based. Very based.
Yeah, she might take an eternity to make a point, but she's making good one this time.
Yes.
POCD, and we went over it, looked it up when I was streaming and everything, and it didn't match up to my understanding of what POCD is. That sounded more like cope, or a way to downplay it. So, and then what she's argued for is she has argued in favor of that, being in support of Lolly, which is something like this is one of the things that I was saying before. Is like it's one thing if like.
How do you think Stardust will contextualize food stamps when they become MSU? Dan, I don't know how much you've been around for, but we have a name for food stamps, which is Amos She. So you like that one, I'm sure. I know you love trans people.
Like say, for instance, like you, Tom, saying that I don't think Lolly is that big of a deal. I don't think it's that really a problem, right? That doesn't mean as much because, as far as we know, you don't go making excuses for fapping it to Lolly, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a bit different when you've got somebody who's actually, fapping it to Lolly, admits to it, and then is going around and advocating for Lolly. And you start going, okay, well, maybe there's something a little bit more going on here. Maybe this is a little bit more insidious. But then in addition to that, we also have, now, people are saying that this is her joking around, but you start to question these kinds of jokes when someone starts joking around about this kind of stuff. But we have audio of her saying that she needs a 12-year-old girl to wrap herself around, right? And so that
was a joke. That was a joke.
Apparently,
we've got like 5 times. Those we can't accept those types of jokes from people with these red flags.
You can't be joking around about that shit.
You wouldn't sit around Jeffrey Dahmer and think it's just a joke when he says he's going to stab you and fucking eat you into some shit.
Yeah, you just can't joke around about this stuff as it is.
To make the case. You don't even need to reference the joke.
I don't think that it's right for anybody to make a joke about that. But yeah.
This is such a cop out. I think it's bad to make jokes about that. It's like, no, that's not the fucking point. The point isn't that the joke is bad. The point is that the fact she is making the joke is portraying an inner state of mind, because you don't make there's always a hint of truth in every joke. That's usually what makes it funny, and the hint of truth there is she does have an attraction to children, whether they be drawn or not.
We already know, just being in
that might not be the only hint of truth. There might be more truth to it, which is that she actually does want to wrap herself around a 12-year-old, but knows it's wrong, and that's why it's funny to say, and that's even worse.
This space and all the shit that always comes up on Discord, there's always this kind of predatory shit going on anyway, so nobody wants to make a joke about that kind of crap in this environment, right? And then you got someone who actually goes and it openly admits to fapping into that stuff, who apparently is cracking jokes about this shit. I'm sorry, you start getting into the realm of, that doesn't sound like a joke anymore. as it is, it's already an inappropriate joke, and then you got someone who faps to this shit who's joking around about it. No, sorry, you lose all that plausible deniability in that.
Are they actually fapping to it, or are they watching?
Yes, she openly admitted to it on Rezzi's stream.
Yeah. Poor Rezzi.
Yeah, she said
like,
See, Lauren desperately trying to come up with another bullshit argument to protect her friend here. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I was in the conversation.
Lauren, I know, hun. I've looked for every possible way that you can just. It's very hard. I'll send you a link to it.
Oh no, even Rezzi's like, listen, stop trying.
Clips? Can we get clips?
I don't think the clips are a good idea. We shouldn't do clip rundowns.
I went over stuff at the beginning of the stream, so it's if you want to go.
I mean, put them in the side chat or something, so people have a reference. So people who are here have a reference. Okay. Sure, but yeah, if you start turning this panel already as it is, kind of fucked up to have a panel about a person who isn't here to defend themselves, but then you're going to run down all the clips.
Well, yeah. Just make the point as well, mate. Like requesting clips and stuff like that. Like we're getting a bunch of shit. I've watched hours at this point of this fucking shit. I've seen VODs from the beginning to the end. I know the full context. I know the full timeline. Don't be relying on clips. But yeah, this is like the due diligence. These are the people who get paid to be talking fucking heads and can't be asked to put the fucking work in. It's crazy.
And then we get shit for putting the work in and get told that because we're putting the work in, we shouldn't be taken seriously. It's fucking crazy. It's just so retarded.
I got a question. Be clear. Okay. I don't think that I think it's okay for content creators to have a conversation about the association and what it is they think about it, but I don't think it would be okay to have her with a 10 versus 1 sort of conversation either. So if I'm going to talk to her and she's going to come on, I'm going to do it without any of you guys here.
And I think part of the issue here also for me is that it is a panel where there is nobody here to represent her side. So I do feel kind of bad in that sense.
Okay, no, hold on. I want to push back on this a little bit. Hold on, Lauren, please. I want to push back on this a little bit. She just dropped a manifesto with a huge fucking document, and
that is her side.
And that is her side, and also she is not so new to the space that she doesn't know what reaction that's going to have. I understand. I'm not saying she shouldn't be able to defend herself or shouldn't have done that, but from a realistic,
to be fair, I think she wants that reaction. I think Foodshop is any attention is good attention. She wants attention. She doesn't care if it's good or bad. She just wants the attention.
I think that may have been her mindset going into it. I don't think she feels that way now. I think, as with many people, they quickly find out that negative attention actually isn't very fun. I don't mind a bit of negative attention, but it has to be the good type of negative attention. The sort of stuff where you start getting, for instance, if I get called a doxer, I don't take kindly to that, because the moment you start doxing people, or people think you're doxing people, you become a target for doxing. Because you've opened up that, you've put that card on the table for other people to fuck with you using. So shit like that's fucked. Obviously, a little bit of negative attention can be fun sometimes, but you don't want bad negative attention. And being called a pedophile, that's bad negative attention, almost always.
That's true.
And it just leads to the conversation. So I get the whole kind of she should be here to defend herself. I get that conversation, but we're now in a position if this was if this was a conversation of, hey, someone said a racism or somebody did something else, it would almost be different. But now we've got the question whether there are going to be people on this panel who don't want to platform her at all because they see her on
Stardust somehow has the torso of a once conjoined twin whose more intelligent head was removed. Dude, some of the shit people say about Stardust in my chat tonight is fucking insane.
On the extreme end where she's a risk. And then there's the other side of, Tom's right. If you brought her into something like this, or any panel now, it's going to be everyone against her. So, again, that's not going to help her. That's not, I don't see that as a situation that's going to help. And then the question is, well, do we not talk about it? Well, then the accusation is, why are you being silent on a person who's been accused of these things, who you've all had previous relationships with of some kind.
And I want to be clear, I plan on talking to her about it because I don't understand why all of the things that I would hope to be addressed were not addressed in the video, and like why it was about a bunch of other things instead. And it seemed like an optics play.
And Tom, you will quickly find out that the reason for that is because she doesn't have an answer to the things that you want addressed.
To say, well, let me, instead of addressing the issues that people have with me, let me just make all of the other people talking about it look bad instead. And it came off as like, I still have these questions. Whatever. I still have the questions. I still have the same questions. And so, yeah, I plan on talking to her about those things.
How many hours in the future is that part? Oh, big donor coming in.
You've been on a good run lately, dude. Well done. Use this money strictly for cigarettes.
Thank you, Jimberly. Thank you. I will use that money strictly for cigarettes. $20 from Jimberly. That's fucking huge. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How far in the future is that? It's an hour and a half in the future, I believe. Yeah. We've got an hour and a half until... Oh, no, this way he reads the manifesto. Oh, no, it's quite a while. No, we're 3 hours from... we might not get there tonight, unless we 2x this.
But yes, not with like
0.25 of a pack, let's go. It does feel like that these days.
A bunch of other people. I want it to be like an easy conversation, not an insane shit show.
One thing I'd also like to point out,
if I would agree more with the premise, if it was like right after Rezzi's conversation with Foodshops, where Foodshops has not responded, there was no manifesto, there was no video that was put out, and then people are all having a panel about it, then that would probably be like, okay, well, there's so much of it that it's hard to... It seemed like a lot of it, she was like making jokes, dancing around, playing this game of, am I a pedophile, am I not a pedophile, and like, to where you couldn't really have a clear conversation about it, but especially when she like doubles down and then gives you like her whole take on this in the manifesto, and it is to, especially the kind of topic that we're talking about, it makes it so I think it's entirely fair for people to want to be like, okay, this is concerning. This is probably something that like we can talk about here.
I'd also like to point out. So first off, I haven't watched the video, and I haven't watched your stream before this. I just woke up and there were DMs and people telling me what was going on and showing me clips, and so I decided to jump on. But what I do know is that a really important kind of point from Foodshops' own words was the day before her conversation with Rezzi, she stated that in her opinion, fapping it to Lolly is pedo adjacent, and that Lolly is drawn child pornography. Those are her words.
Yeah.
Right. And she's been sort of backpedaling that and downplaying the whole thing since her conversation with Rezzi. So that should tell you something really important there. In addition to another important thing that I felt was like key was after the conversation with Rezzi, whenever people started to try and confront her on it, she would block them or ban them from her server, which is another really important thing as well. Right.
Well, again, hold on. Again, when Spicy Chat is doing the freaking shit that they're doing, it starts to like
I'm sorry.
justify.
What shit, Tom?
What shit? Yes. I would love to hear what shit we are doing. What are we doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, can I also say as well? It's a good point that Zonia's making. That clip exists. I posted it in Spicy Chat, and that tells the story which you have very conveniently, Foodshops, buried in your manifesto, because that's basically what the most incendiary shit that she admits to is in a fucking Google Doc, which is in the description of the video. How many people are actually going to open up that manifesto and read through exactly what the reality of the situation is? I would imagine a very small proportion of the people who actually watch the video itself.
Well, I mean,
it's only happened as a consequence of this broader conversation building around it. People are now putting attention on the manifesto itself. She tried to bury it.
Yeah, exactly. The worst parts of the argument are in the manifesto for sure. Yeah, and it does just seem sort of duplicitous. But we move.
Completely unrelated to Spicy Chat. No.
Okay, right. Let's
start to try
hear
and
what Zonia
confront
says.
her on it. Lolly is pedo adjacent, and that Lolly is drawn child pornography. Those are her words.
Yeah.
Right. And she's been sort of backpedaling that and downplaying the whole thing since her conversation with Rezzy. So that should tell you something really important there. In addition to another important thing that I felt was like key was after the conversation with Rezzy, whenever people started to try and confront her on it, she would block them or ban them from her server, which is another really important thing as well, right?
Well, again, hold on. Again, when Spicy Chat is doing the freaking shit that they're doing, it starts to like
I'm sorry.
justify
when you're
her
blocking
doing
people
this
who are
shit.
completely unrelated to Spicy Chat. No,
I don't know that she knows that. I don't know who's related and unrelated, and I'm banning people from my chat coming in and going off about
the
it too. 'Cause I
statement
just
that
assume
she
it's them.
made was that it was all Spicy.
So it's just anyone talking about this is Spicy Chat. Great. Okay, I love it. I love it. Anyone talking about this is Spicy Chat. Brilliant. Thank you, Tom. Fucking idiot, man.
Chat. So I don't know.
But wait a minute.
Yeah, from my perspective, it is as well.
From her perspective, that's what it looks like. So when you're getting like people just like popping into your chat and bothering you, and you think it's from one direction,
But it's not just people in our chat. It was people on Twitter as well. There were like a bunch of unrelated people that I didn't even have a clue were doing anything or asking about it and getting blocked.
it's not like you have the ability to like start looking through every single.
Hello, Nagram. Just one of you are on stream right now. Just before you start talking, because I don't know if you saw
one, right? You kind of just are looking at, okay, I need to get rid of this right now. Let me get rid of this right now, and I'll deal with it later. So I don't think that that's really like.
So you think it's just sort of like a forest for the trees kind of overreaction?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just what it is.
Plus, let's see if she still reacts that way now that she's dropped a manifesto, because she dropped a public thing. If she still acts in the same way, then it's like kind of, shitty. But like she should expect now that people are going to hop in her chat and bring shit up. And
yeah, exactly, Jimbley. If you don't know who is or isn't Spicy Chat, then maybe blaming Spicy for anything is a bit retarded. Yep. If you can't even pick out a username, come on now.
Ask.
Oh my god, should I unmute? We're going to say something or?
I was just going to say that, Tom, again, is another one. Psychic damage, because of the Reddit alts. It's all fucking,
yep.
Which he won't acknowledge, but that's the fact.
Obviously won't, but no, it's a... And the sex pest thing, because JStalk is obviously associated with us a bit. Yeah, it's just like... It's such an obvious, victims caping for the other victims. It's crazy.
Questions, and we'll see if she still kicks people and bans people over that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. I would say the biggest issue that I have is sort of the combination of both the admission of being into this stuff and then you combine that with her downplaying it and trying to make it seem like it's no big deal, but then also advocating for it. And then having these contradictory statements where it's like, oh, well, actually, I do think it is pedophile adjacent to FAP to this stuff, and it's definitely drawn child pornography. You start getting into this very complicated thing of like, okay, I see a lot of red flags, and I don't see very much consistency. I see a lot of evasion, and everything that I see seems to either just downplay those red flags or pretend as though those red flags don't exist.
Zonia's on a fucking roll here, I've got to say. Not, like I said, not a big fan of Zonia always, but here she's doing it. She's doing a good job.
And this is where you really need someone to come out and make a very clear, definitive statement about what their actual position is. And then you should also probably be very concerned when they start going onto platforms to advocate for the very things that they do when they're very much red flag things that we're concerned about. And then combine that, I would say the most important thing then is her conversation with Rob Noir and saying that she's okay with someone that she knows is a pedophile being alone with a 12-year-old. Right, or with a little kid. That's another one I would also look at. It's like not only does she have the red flags, but she doesn't recognize the red flags where she should recognize the red flags and have a normal kind of human reaction that most of us would have, where most of us would see a red flag there and be like, that's a bad thing. She's like, no, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't have an issue with it, right? So that's the other part to keep in mind there as well, is that she doesn't even recognize the red flags when everybody else should, because most other people would be like, yeah, that's a bad idea. We're not going to leave a 12-year-old alone with a pedophile.
I do have a question, because I'm not super filled in on the entirety of this drama, right? I honestly, I only saw one clip prior to today, and then today is when I watched like the Rezzy thingy, and then I watched Foodshops' response to it. But like, in what way does she go and like advocate for this kind of stuff? Like, what do you mean by that?
She has several debates and conversations where she argues in favor of lolicon and of drawn, like animated or drawn child pornography. She's taken them, she's privated most of them. There's at least one of them that's still up. I went over it on stream the other day.
She was banning her own paid members last night. I guess this spicy person they're all afraid of, but can't show evidence of existence, is playing the really long con. Yeah, literally. As if we're going to be going in there and paying her money to fucking be in her chat. No fucking shot, dude.
Really? I don't know if it's still up. It was when I went over it on stream.
Most spicy chatters don't even donate to Chud, let's be real. Like,
the other day. And her apparently her debate with Karantos is like one of the more spicy of those particular discussions. I wasn't able to find that one, so I think it's been privated. I don't think
Stardust asks a question, gets told an answer, and none of the information gets registered. It's absolutely just in one ear, out the other. Not gonna lie, I've never really watched a Chud stream, says Rita, but you have been on one. You have been on several, actually, I think. Definitely featured in them, that's for sure.
Karantos has it up, and I think it's been privated as well on Foodshops' end.
So I was told that. So again, I personally just don't care. So you said something earlier. I don't care if people have like a thing for lolly or something like that. That's just a red flag still to me. It's not an immoral thing to do. It's just same red flag as the other things that we're talking about. So from what I understand, she does like say in those debates that she's not okay with sexual engagements with kids, that she's not okay with people marrying people underage, that she is okay with the what do you call it, with the age of consent laws. Like, so I'm not sure like what you're referring to.
So she's more map adjacent rather than pedophile adjacent.
But if she's then going and saying that she doesn't see a problem with leaving a 12-year-old alone with a pedophile, you know, then you got even bigger red flags, right?
Sure.
Here's how I honestly see it. I think maybe this person has a lot of issues with sexuality and confusion around sexuality and their own mental issues, which they've admitted to. And with that, they may have their own unique attractions to children. I highly doubt that they've ever acted on it because they're talking about it so publicly. Now, as mentioned earlier, there's plenty of people who have talked about virtuous pedophiles and whatnot and claim to never attack kids despite having attractions, who end up attacking kids. I don't think that's Foodshops. I think Foodshops is somebody who is trying to be open about this situation and trying to explain what's going on while simultaneously being
lying or simultaneously lying
and having everything.
This bitch is so retarded. Please, I wish they would just kick her. I wish people would just say. Why do people not just say to people at some powers? Why does Tom or someone not just say to them, like, listen, it doesn't seem like you know what you're talking about, really. Other people who know more about the situation are trying to talk about this. Do you want to take a back seat and just pitch in when you've really got something to say? Like, at least say that. If not, just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, you know? Crazy. They just let her ramble.
They mean everything with nuance. And
Okay,
I
so-
feel very
Yes,
bad.
the manifesto is full of nuance.
Okay, so like I see where you're coming from, but for those of us who've been
Okay, thank you,
around a
Beckett.
while,
Beckett, voice of
seen
sanity.
people have these conversations. You said, like, I don't think they would have saying any of this stuff if they were doing it. The problem is, from experience, those of us.
Does food stamps make an appearance here? No. So just people who are just coming in may not know, people who went around last night may not know. Basically, this is going on simultaneously as Food Stamps is doing a stream where she reads her manifesto and takes calls from other streamers. So I believe at the start she was talking. Yo, another donor coming in.
Kuihman 1.
Kuihman 1. I can't see. For some reason, it's not showing up who that was or how much that was. I believe it was maybe, yeah, I think it was $13.37. Thank you very much, whoever that was. I'll check who it was.
Lol or something.
Okay.
Lol.
I can't see it on my dashboard for some reason, but I will check in a moment. Yes, what was I saying? Yeah, so this was running simultaneously as Foodshops stream. She was talking to SFO at the start. I don't know what she's doing at this point, but essentially what happens as this goes on is people on this panel start dropping out and they start going on to Food Stamp stream and they start having one-on-one conversations with her. So you probably know better than me, Bug, but I believe it was Rezzivaer, Zonia, and Tom go and talk to her, right?
No, it was initially Stardust. Then it was Rezzivaer, then it was Tom.
Okay, right. Sorry. So Stardust, then Rezzivaer, then Tom. Go and have like one-on-one conversations with her. We will watch those. Tom's one especially is very good.
So I think it was Sleepy.
Oh, it was Sleepy. Oh. So lol sucker or lol sleepy it'll be. Yep. Okay. Thank you for that, Sleepy. Thank you.
Seeing this fucking rodeo, we've watched a pedophile bring on a person that they were grooming.
Now I'm going to reset my bar.
To a map panel because these people have no fucking shame. We have watched Amoshi.
Not just grooming. It was a 16-year-old, wasn't it? 17,
yeah, but they've been grooming them for ages.
Yeah, they had been with them for many years. So it wasn't just it was their victim. Their victim of more than just grooming, of like actual bad shit.
And the same with Yamoshi. Right, yeah. Everyone was like, he can't actually be a pedophile. He wouldn't be talking so openly about it. But he's in prison now. Yeah. And this happens all the fucking time. Nick Pedo Bates, exactly the same shit. All these fucking lolcow memes of like, look at the way he's talking about his attraction to minors and all these DMs to this girl. Turned out the dude raped his fucking sister. Like, there is so much shit of pedophiles going online talking about the fact that they're pedophiles and people just being like, oh yeah, no, it's probably fucking lols, or they're probably like, and the same shit happened with Nick Pedo Bates. People were like, oh, this guy's been trolled into it. Like,
so it sounds like what you're saying is if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, that it might actually be a duck.
You're making really good points, and like, and all of those people have a similar situation. It is a similar situation, but for some reason it just feels different. I don't know what it is.
Could it be because you're friends? Could it possibly... I don't know what... Could it possibly be that you're friends? Could it possibly be that? Do you think maybe, Lawrence?
I said this while I was watching it in Discord. This is someone who trained, has passed the bar, wanted to be a lawyer, and she's going on her feels. Like,
yeah,
unfucking believable. Could you imagine getting this bitch as you read, here's your counsel, like, what? No, it's not.
Look at my lawyer, dog. I'm going to fucking jail.
It might feel different, and I'm really not trying to, like, paint you in any way, but this is, like, you know Foodshops, you like Foodshops, it's an unpleasant thing to...
Oh, thank you, Beckett. Thank you, Beckett. Thank you, Beckett. Oh, man. I give Beckett a lot of shit, but honestly, he is one of the better people in Twitch Bowl, I gotta be real.
And again, I'm not making any hard claims. I'm not saying that Foodshops is a pedophile, but I am saying that this is highly fucking suspicious, and my experience has been, when people tell you what they are, believe them.
Can I ask a question? Zonia, real quick. Does, like, if I remember correctly, like, Foodshops has, like, a history of, like, sexually, like, deceitful behavior and talked about it on Reddit?
I haven't finished going through all the Reddit stuff, so...
That is true, Samantha Savage is bringing up a Reddit post where Foodshops talks about tricking a male friend, into thinking they're a girl over the phone after voice training and baiting them into sexual scenarios, essentially. So yeah, that's pretty fucking weird, I'm not gonna lie. Very strange behavior.
So it's a lot. She has a very lengthy history. She's got over 100,000 karma, so pretty active Redditor. It's a lot to go through. So I was going to go through it on stream last time, but there was just so much stuff. There's definitely a lot of things that are like kind of yikers.
About, like, deceiving their friend's boyfriend for sexual
purposes. There's the trap meme that she had done with her boyfriend. I don't know. It's hard to tell with that one. I guess she was like a kid at the time, like a teen, but so
That's not true. That's not true. She's like 24 and she's like my age, I thought. And like, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, isn't it?
I can't remember the exact date. Zonia could be correct. Could be correct though, because she's got a long history on Reddit. She's been posting on there for years. And actually, I did post to me. Let me see it. See if it was.
Let me see if I can find that post quickly.
It's in the farm.
I had it in DMs with Rita as well. Yeah, I can see it here. 5 years ago, that was. So, no, she could have been 19, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd say I'd give her the benefit of the doubt of being like a kid at that point. You're 19. Come on now. Like, you should know about consent by that age, really. But whatever. It was 5 years ago, Sleep. It was 5 years ago. I've got the post up here. So yeah, just for context, we'll pull this up. We'll pull this up just so people know what we're talking about. If you haven't seen it. Okay. So my face when I'm an egg, and I remember that half a year ago I tricked my transphobic friend over the phone that I was one of his ex-girlfriends, and he totally fell for it. Smug gay sounds. So, yeah, that's 5 years ago.
I didn't care as much about that one, but I wanted to kind of go through like things that were more recent, that were things in her adulthood.
To kind of bring that up, like, as maybe she doesn't have a problem with like sexuality. Maybe it's more so like it's not that she has a problem with this sexuality. Just she has a problem with maybe like questionable sexual practices.
I don't know. I don't have enough information to say that for certain, but she talked about that she is into the power dynamic found in Lolly. So that's something that's kind of, you can find like pretty stark top bottom power dynamics in all kinds of things, right? Like, I don't think you have to go and intentionally seek out Lolly or find an interest in Lolly to find a top bottom dynamic, right? So that's one of the things that I found to be very weird, is why it was that she's okay with Lolly and into Lolly when she can find a pretty extreme top and bottom dynamic in lots of other different stuff that doesn't involve the depiction of children, right? Am I correct in this statement?
I agree with that.
I do as well.
Okay, so that's one of the things that really kind of irks me, is like, why does it have to go to you being attracted to the power dynamic between an adult and a child? That seems like something that would be a little off-putting, right? That seems to me that like most people would probably find that.
Yeah, they said in the panel just a moment ago, food stamps had over 100,000 karma. Pretty fucking insane.
That uncomfortable, especially considering how it is that we, like, more and more these days, we recognize power dynamics as being an issue and something that we focus on. Is the whole reason why there's been a bit more of a push to raise the age of consent, and why it is that we protect children more so than we used to. There's been much more awareness of how children are subjected to the abuse of adults. And so we care about these things more and more. So it seems strange to me that someone would be able to get off on that very abusive power dynamic and be just okay with it, right? That seems very irksome to me. Like, that's something that would really bother me. And then when you combine that with other things that she said, for instance, being okay with leaving a 12-year-old behind alone with a pedophile, that seems like okay, you're broken. You're wired wrong. There's something wrong here. Because even if you were somehow attracted to this stuff, you think you would at least recognize the problem and the abuse there, and then not be okay with leaving a vulnerable child alone with a pedophile. You think you'd at least be wired properly that way. So she's definitely wired wrong that way, right? So it's a real, that I think is a real problem. The combination of the attraction and then the lack of awareness of these red flags seem to be a huge problem for me.
I remember. And there's also I think.
Hold on.
I think
right. Just let KidnotKin talk. I can't believe I'm saying this. Just let KidnotKin talk. Holy fuck! I guarantee whatever you're about to say is not as interesting. But let's go.
He went over this clip on his stream, where Foodshops was talking about that. Her statement was that pedophiles aren't always just people that are sexually attracted to children, but people that want to pursue personal romantic relationships with children, and sort of downplaying a lot of this, like the sexual aspect of pedophilia, and kind of almost like romanticizing it to some degree.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, also was a red flag for me. I didn't even think about bringing that one up. That's the good point to bring up. That sounds so much like the kind of shit that was said on the map panel, if you recall, Tom.
Yeah, so this is true. This is something Food Stamps does. Because while it is true that I believe a lot of pedophiles do have the delusion that they are capable of having this romantic relationship with a child, I don't believe that the way Food Stamps presents it, which is that it's not a sexual thing, it is just a romantic thing, that's not true. That's not true, I don't believe. So yeah, that is 100% trying to like downplay and romanticize the idea of what a pedophile is.
This makes me think of has anyone? I mean, I don't know how widespread it was. No, it was definitely widespread because South Park referenced it. But the whole Chicken Hawk documentary about
Chicken
Nambla.
Hawk. I remember the Nambla episode of South Park vaguely, but I don't.
Yeah, well, it's about. They must have watched the documentary. It's called Chicken Hawk. And it focuses on Nambla, and it's people within that documentary who are exhibiting the exact same thing. We have this whimsical romanticism about the interactions with children and stuff like that. It's fucking weird. It's
yeah. It is like trying to present that as like this. The way she presents it as if it is like this nice, caring thing when she talks about it. No, that's not the case. It's a sick fucking delusion. Like, obviously, you cannot have a romantic relationship with a child. There is just such a fucking gulf in your mental state and the way your brain works that it's just completely fucking absurd and like it's insane. But Food Stamps like, no, they really care about children. It's like, you're fucking weird, dude. Stop, please.
Don't know what you're talking about, Zonia. Agreed to never speak.
Here's the thing. Like, this is something because I have a little bit of a conflict about this. Like, I see a lot of red flags around Food Shop, but one of the things that like SFO came into my chat and said, is the cancel train in full swing or has the cancel train left the station for Food Shops? And I was like, you know what? I don't want her to be canceled, but this is shit that we kind of just can't sweep under the rug and we should pay attention to, and there should be some critical analysis of, especially considering that we're in an environment where it's okay to argue for
Look at that dono, by the way.
What's that? Real talk, any of you going to interact with her in the future, asking for a friend prior? It's so cringe.
She, at this moment in time, Mantis is in Food Shops chat, coping big time. And earlier on today, she was in Spicy chat. I'm not on anybody's side, guys. Fuck off. Yes, you are. Don't
so
fucking...
retarded. It's like... I hate chatters like this, man. But whatever. But honestly, Zonia, Beckett, and to an extent, KidnotKin are on a fucking roll on this panel. It's just not... It's wall-to-wall sane takes. Tom's doing okay too, but wall-to-wall sane takes.
Yeah, Tom's doing his fucking Tommy's fair shit.
Tommy's fair, yeah.
You've mentioned before, Tom, that are controversial or normally you wouldn't hear in polite, discourse, right? Because we're in a space where a lot of things can be argued for or looked at different angles that would normally be considered to be uncouth, right? So the fact that we're in this kind of a space means that not only are we going to expect to have those kinds of arguments sometimes have them crop up, but we should also be just as willing to be critical of them and analyze them and ask, okay, well, what is the motivation behind arguing this? And then taking a look at all the other context of the things that the person who was arguing for it has said and see whether or not they're actually trying to provide like a plausible deniability for their own actions or to downplay or normalize their own actions. So I think it's fair to scrutinize these things and question it, but I don't necessarily think that the person should just be like outright cancelled and deplatformed.
Oh, Sleepy's got a great point in chat there. 47 viewers and only 20 likes. What the fuck? Guys, what is going on here? Guys, come on, pump that like button, pump that sub, and send a dono if you feel like it. Thank you very much.
I just think it's something we need to be aware of and pay attention to and be like, yeah, this is looking pretty sus. Do you have an answer for it? And then when she goes and puts out a video, which I haven't seen yet, where she's basically evading all of the criticism and then just kind of like, calling into question the character of the people who have the criticism, that tends to be just sort of solidifying all those red flags for me.
And it's sure. So like I said, I plan on talking to her one-on-one about this. Is there anybody here who currently, without hearing anything that she has to say, right now thinks, I don't want to associate with her in the future, I think this is too dangerous?
Yeah, I don't want to associate with her.
Yeah.
Is there anybody...
The thing is that, like, there's
so who spoke up there? Was that whether yes from Beckett, KidnotKin, and Rezzivaer, I believe, right?
Yeah, we wanted to cancel someone, and then just thinking that like I don't want to share a platform with someone who's normalizing pedophilia.
Yeah, distancing
even
yourself.
if it is as like a joke or whatever. And I think it's fine to say that. And if you say that and other people agree with you, that is not what canceling is.
You're right. Okay, so we got what, 2, 3 people who said yes.
Similarly,
hold on. I want to ask these questions real quick. Okay, so I feel like we had to.
We should just let Beckett speak there. Beckett's been on a roll this whole fucking panel, but he'll let fucking Lauren DeLaguna talk, bro. Come on now.
Was it Samantha?
Kid, Rezzy,
Beckett.
I haven't said anything yet, other than like I agree
so,
that canceling matters.
Beckett, Rezzy, and KidnotKin. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there people who feel like I want to wait for a little bit more answers, but I'm kind of on the fence about not associating with her? That's you.
Did I just hear a Discord join notification? Oh yes, Kenny is here. Hello, Kenny. I'm sure you know you're being streamed right now because you're in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, I would say I'm probably in that bucket. Stardust is muted.
I would probably be there too. I don't even know her, but I would love to have a conversation.
I mean, after watching the video, I don't really think it's an option for me anyways, so I figure I might as well bite the bullet on it, you know?
Okay, so then...
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be on Team Rezzy here once I watch the video.
No, it was like a really emotional scene with music, and it was like really sad.
Okay, Rezzy, you're adding nothing. Shut the fuck up. You could have just said, no, she just burnt the bridge with me. That's all you needed to say. That's all you need to say. It was a really emotional scene. She had this music playing. It made me start feeling really bad about the way I'd been a friend to her. Shut up. No one asked, bro. No one fucking asked for that. If you want to correct it, just give the quick correction and then shut the fuck up again. It is that easy.
Sure. I'm trying to get through this real quick. So Samantha and Lauren, that leaves the two of you guys. Like, what are y'all?
I would distance myself. I'm not gonna like not engage, but like I'm gonna keep my distance. But at the same time, because there's no definitive proof that she has acted upon anything. But like we said, like it is a bunch of like horrible, shitty red flags and a bunch of jokes, and we don't know if she's just memeing into the fucking sun, Icarus style. And we have to take some things at face value over like the obvious manifesto. But at the same time, like. I'm on the line of like, yeah, I'll distance, maybe engage, but like, I don't think canceling her should be good either.
Yeah. For me, it's more so that like, if she's joking or if she's not joking, it's still an incredible liability that I just am not going to play around with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think similarly, it's one of those where, look, if I actually weirdly, I don't see how, from my position, I can turn around and be like, hey, all my content is laughing at these fucking people talking about stuff like this, even though I'm not making as strong claim as other people. And they've been like, yeah, but this is fine. I'd excuse this here. Because it is just weird. And it's not just watching Lolly, it's the additional comments and things. And I think reading the manifestos really sort of nailed the coffin for me a little bit. Look, I remember so much shit. It just brings me back to Bathtub Ross. I am losing my fucking mind over it, frankly. I just think if people are going to argue for virtuous pedophiles or want to have those conversations, from the perspective that they're going, well, this is something that I get off to, I don't know how I can engage with that person without, like, mocking them, frankly. Because that's
Beckett, honestly, this guy is just fucking spitting. Craziness.
Then engage and mock them. Beckett. But the thing is, like, you can have people, because there's.
Is this Samantha bitch the same bitch tried to take on Prime Kai's a couple of years back? Yes, I believe that is her. She used to go by Samantha Banana. I believe that is this person here. Yes. What do I miss, gamers? Everything. You're late.
Been times where
yeah, but then am I just pushing forward? Am I just pushing forward somebody that's what they want?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. But at the same time, like, you can have people like Tom or me or fuck Doobie, if in a shitty mood, right, could advocate for this.
Some people just call her Mantha. Who's some people? Is that just you, Stylo?
Type of things, just for the concept, right? Without having believed in it or partaking in it ourselves. Beckett, Annie, hold on. But at the same time, like, with the other things that she has said, it makes sense with the manifesto. It makes sense. But at the same time, I would like definitive proof. Because I'm of the thing where like I've been a big Mimi troll before, not that close into the fucking sun, but you know, I think she's just wanting to be an attention fucking whore and trying to go down the most edgy path because she saw how quick like fucking Mr. Girl went from nobody to like popping off to everybody's shit just by saying this edgy off the wall fucking shit. And I think she's trying to copy that without understanding what he was doing.
How did Mr. Girl end?
Well, that's because he wasn't fucking memeing. He's actually just a shitbag.
But this is like the fucking problem, isn't it? Like even
Mr. Girl bad, Mr. Girl bad, Mr. Girl bad. Guys, do you remember Mr. Girl's bad because he said mean things about Destiny once? Mr. Girl bad. Thank you, panel. Why is this what content has become? Where we just keep circling back to just saying the same person as the incarnation of all evil in Twitch.
Well, yeah, I'll make another point as well here. How about just not interacting with him because of an annoying cunt?
Yeah, literally, right?
Like at least Max was funny, like charismatic, intelligent. Like there is some fucking benefit to interacting with him. Like versus this person has no value. Fuck them.
Yeah, literally. What does she bring? Mr. Girl brought so much good content. He made fucking banging rap songs. He made some great fucking prepared video essays and shit. You know, Mr. Girl had plenty of good things, to look at that you could enjoy as part of the content. But there's nothing with Foodshops. She's just a weird trans pedophile. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all she's got.
Even if we want to make the argument, and that is the charitable argument, that this is memeing into the sun. That
I'm trying to be charitable. I'm usually not.
I know you are. And I know you're giving that advocate position. But the problem is, like, even if it is, the level, like, it shows a level of bad decision making where she's a liability on that level to interact with. Secondly, like, this isn't out of the blue, right? This isn't just she randomly had a conversation with Rezzy. She has had these conversations with multiple people. She's made these extreme statements. She's seen the response and she has carried on. So either she really believes this, or she is memeing so hard to try and get somewhere that it's just like, okay, well, then the outcome's basically going to be the same from
Beckett,
a risk to us side.
The answers that we need, we're going to find in the next week or two to her response with the pushback she's going to get to the manifesto, right?
Okay, well, how do you work that out?
Okay, if she is memeing and she does back down, like, okay, yeah, I wanted attention. I was a fucking piece of shit. Blah blah blah.
How can you believe that?
Here's the thing:
If she
with her behavior and like her on panels and stuff. There was one when I was with her on Kids. I instantly muted her because she just wanted to meme and fucking be a retard. So I instantly muted her because she just wanted to meme. So I don't understand if now there's no way for me to understand or be definitive that she is map adjacent or map or whatever, right? Or if she isn't.
If this was 2 years ago right now, there'd be 4 panels about lolly /map /platforming. There'd be people bringing her on to debate and argue her over lolly. These people are lazy now, lazy and boring. Very true. I think I said something pretty much exactly like that in Discord the other day. That, you know, it's crazy that we've just reached the point where no one can be bothered to make the fucking content cycle happen.
And it's very telling that they've waited for her side of the story first without actually bothering to actually do any research themselves in advance. Even if you don't actually comment about it, at least do the research in advance so you can pick apart the manifesto as it's going on. But no, none of them have done it.
No. Top right making me feel taller. Okay.
There's no definitive proof other than like she's saying edgy shit. And like we can say the manifesto is bad because it's bad, right? But at the same time, it could just be more edgy bullshit. And we don't have definitive proof of it is or it isn't. Now, if she does come out and be like, yeah, I was edgy, I was being a fucking meme lord, I'm a fucking weirdo, I want attention, blah, blah, blah. Cool. I could be like, fine, you learned your lesson, maybe be meme, but don't fucking, there's certain
and I
things
shouldn't do this in the future.
There's certain things you don't fucking meme about, right?
I hate this. Why do people keep saying this? Certain things you just don't joke about. How have we reached this point? I thought this talking point died like 10 years ago. I haven't heard anyone say this shit in so long. Especially not online. Certain things you don't joke about. Like online in more edgy spaces, like I would never hear this like 2 years ago, I swear. No, you can fucking joke about anything. Who gives a fuck?
It's all cope because
and the other thing is that this is
still making these jokes.
Yeah, literally.
This shit's coming from the left now as well. This puritanical bullshit. It's weird. There's been a complete like flip flop on this kind of stuff.
Very cringe, incredibly cringe.
We all know that.
let me ask you this question then. Let's say that's her position. Let's say she comes out in a week and sees how bad this fucking is with the response and says, "Hey guys, it was all fucking lols." I don't know how that's better, because again, I already don't.
Good night, Rita. Thank you for the video.
Don't think, and I've said this in her defense actually. I said I don't think she is a reliable narrator of her own opinions or her own life, and I don't think she has the impulse control to be a reliable narrator. And that's got two sides to it. Firstly, if she comes out and says it's memes, with everything else, I don't know if I or anyone else can believe that, right? Again, like the trust there is broken. On the second side, if she says, "Hey, I'm never going to do this again," the content creators who believe her and say, "It's fine, we're going to sort of do the rehabilitation thing," the level of liability that she is means that you are putting your reputation on the at risk for somebody who's shown already that they don't have the impulse control to stop themselves. So if it's all for clout, what about the next time she wants clout? What about the next time she's like, "I've been streaming for 12 hours and I want to get like a load of fucking..."
Look at Stardust sitting there with her face like a slapped ass while Beckett sits there and fucking tears her friend apart. Fucking brilliant, man. I love it.
Hear. Wait, isn't she deafened?
No, she's not got the icon there. Look.
Oh no.
She can hear.
And then everyone who's sort of done that rehabilitation gets tarnished as well.
Hey Tom, do you want me to pull Neve in here? She's been sitting in there for a while. And
no, we already said we had too many people, and then you hopped on as well. So we're like one over.
Okay, so they're about to bring. Who is this? This is Neve, who is Foodshops ex-producer, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this run for a moment. I'm just going to the toilet, grab something to eat, but I'll just leave it up.
So yeah, we gotta wait for like.
Well, wait.
Hold on, Lauren. Wait, Lauren. I wanted to ask you because I was asking everybody. I wanted to get you in Stardust as well. Did you have an answer to the question?
What question?
Yeah, I'm going to continue to engage with them. I'm going to continue to engage with them until I know that, like, something more definitively. I just believe until innocent, until proven guilty. And like, I've heard only one side of the story. I clearly don't know what's going on. I'm the least informed person on this panel, and I like Foodshops.
No, I'd argue Stardust is probably the least informed.
Just somebody who's like worked within the law and like and just have seen people have had cases brought against them seem really damning, like extremely damning, and then you come.
Oh, I'm just going to talk over this bitch.
It's not.
I've got no proof for this, and checking it would be like schizo behavior. But I've got an inkling.
I'm with Lauren on this one. Honestly.
Stardust isn't listening to half of this. I think she's in Foodshops chat as this is all going on.
Wait till I get you on Global
Listening to Foodshops, typing in chat.
That'll be hard to do. That'll be hard to do.
It's not a thing.
One thing that
I know.
Oh my god, you're one of those.
Look, for her sake, I hope both of you are right. Genuinely, and maybe you are. Maybe you are. Like, you've been right before, Star. Like, maybe you are. I don't
know. I don't know the answer. Honestly, I don't know what the answer is here. I just know that I don't know enough information, and I'm not willing to, as somebody who's been.
What retarded shit has Star just said? Because I swear I just heard someone start laughing.
She doesn't know what to think.
Oh, yeah, again.
Yeah, I was just saying though that I don't want to have to check because I don't want to be so fucking schizophrenic. But I don't think Stardust is listening to half of this. I think at this moment in time she is listening to Foodshop stream at the same time, and she's in chat running Cope. That's why I think she's like in and out, like, and doesn't really know what's going on. Jesus. She's already made a decision. She's on Team Foodshops.
Yeah, that makes it even funnier that Beckett is sitting there just completely fucking tearing her apart.
Yeah.
Oh mate, what have I done to this? There we go.
Like, ganged up on as somebody who's been like the odd person out. I know what that feels like, and I'm not willing to do that to somebody until I know, like, for sure. I just think it's cruel. I think it's cruel to cut somebody off. It's cruel to cut somebody off until you actually know that they're deserving to be cut off, and even then, sometimes like the worst people still
Not obligated to make content with anyone. What is this fucking argument? You don't have a loyalty to some random fuck on the internet you've never fucking met in real life. It's crazy.
When you're struggling for 50 viewers over 3 different platforms, maybe you do.
Oh, true. Maybe.
Don't deserve to be cut off. So that's just kind of my stance on it. I'm not saying that I know more than anybody else here. I know much less, honestly. And I just have to make that decision for myself. So
I empathize with that. The only difference that I would have is that I don't think people deserve to be attached in the first place. And if you want to cut people off because you have seen one too many red flags, then that's totally on your own discretion. But
sure.
At the same time, I absolutely empathize with that position.
I would say
I know too much what it's like to be like condemned, be the odd one out, to be ganged up on. I get it.
Tom.
Yeah.
I think you have honor, and I think that's a great trait. Maybe 100%. I'm just gonna give you a compliment. I think that's the best way.
Fuck
to
you, whoever you are.
Wait, that's not what honor means.
Wait, what did he say?
She has honor.
Yeah, he thinks that Stardust is being very honourable.
Right. Okay.
Trauma. Like, it happened to me, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's just trauma bonding. That's what it is. It's not honor.
Yeah.
Or you want to think more critically about it? I just props to you on that one.
Well, I mean, in the next week, if she doubles and triples down again, I'm fine with throwing in a wood chipper. I don't give a fuck.
What do you mean?
So I'm being asked. Someone's asking me if I could expand more on the POCD claim. I didn't want to go into details because it's such a complicated kind of thing. There's so many parameters to it. But when we went over it on my stream the other day, and as soon as I heard her POCD claim, I was like, whoa, hold on. That's not what POCD is, because POCD is this obsessive thought that someone might.
Oh, that has just dropped. Has she just gone to talk to food stamps?
Yes. I remember this. Yeah, she's on her.
Should we switch over? Should we watch the Stardust food stamps conversation? Is it worth watching or not?
Watch it.
At minimum, let Zonia finish her point here because it's quite a good one.
Okay. Is the Stardust conversation good though, Bug?
No, it's cold. It's literally she's massaging her feet. It's horrible. I mean, it's interesting enough to listen to, just so we can fucking kick the shit out of Stardust. But yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll try to get in this panel, and then if we're still going, we'll start watching the individual calls, I think.
Be a pedophile or may become a pedophile, and it's not just like POCD. There are other types of obsessive disorders that are subsets of OCD. Like one would be the fear of hurting someone, and then they want to like throw out all the knives in their house and everything and not be around any kind of like weapon or anything like that. But the difference is between someone with the obsession of these things versus what she's doing is they don't actually do it. They're not actually going and fapping it to Lolly. They're not actually going and murdering people. They have the intrusive thought that they might, because of some circumstance where they looked at a child and thought, oh shit, did I look at a child wrong? Or they looked at a knife with a person there and like, oh my God, that could hurt somebody. And then it became an intrusive thought and they obsessed over it and they started convincing themselves that maybe they're going to be a murderer or a pedophile or something like that. They don't actually go and have the attraction. They're not going, a POCD person isn't going and fapping it to Lolly. That's the distinction there. It is the obsessive thought that they might have those things when they don't actually have them. It's an irrational obsessive thought. It is not the, oh, I'm going to go fap it now. That's not you've gone beyond POCD at that point. You've just confirmed the P portion of it and dropped off the OCD.
No, I get you.
So I wanted to point that out. Like there's the OCD Foundation, great resource for that. They have all the details on it and everything. The whole reason why I learned about it was actually...
How much contention is going to be here? So I'm going to go 2 times it now. But we'll get to the point where Neve comes in.
Amazingly, because Mr. Girl actually hosted someone who had POCD on Twitch, and then he got mass reported and got his Twitch channel taken down as a result. And at the time, it was the first time I had ever heard of POCD, so I went and looked it up, and I actually figured out what the hell it was. So as soon as I heard that claim from her, I was like, no, this is not POCD. I'm sorry, this is some major copium or an attempt to downplay what you're actually doing.
Okay. I think that was like the first time I understood why the POCD conversation was even brought up. Like, I didn't understand why anyone cared about OCD, but you're saying it's like a particular subset of an OCD type behavior in which it makes you believe that you may have tendencies towards pedophilia, and I understand the correlation now.
Which is even worse when she describes it.
She was lying. We didn't go into the same level of detail, but she was told this earlier on in the fucking panel by Tom. Like, she's a fucking moron.
Yeah, she's completely brain dead. A total airhead.
She describes it incorrectly as though it is an obsession with actual children, which is not what it is, which means that if that's what she had, then it's like very different than even more so. And so it just makes it a little bit odder. But Neve, you wanted to... You're muted.
Yeah, you're fucking muted. Good job, bro.
Oh, it's this person. Ah.
Great. I have a few things that I wanted to get off my chest, just briefly, specifically with the Foodshops circumstance. And yeah, if you'll let me talk for a few minutes, then I can definitely do that.
Okay, let's listen to this. Let's go 1.5. We'll give you 1.5, Nave, okay?
I think in the context of our friendship, I had a professional relationship with Foodshops. Most of our interactions have been on panels, sometimes with a lot of you guys. Otherwise, discussing creators to bring on food for thought. I think that I was initially there was a conversation or like a tweet on Twitter about the potential of doing like a food for thought on like lolly and pedophilia. I think that I was initially uncomfortable with the topic and thought about reaching out to her to express that to her. Unfortunately, it didn't really get there. When Jenny released her statement on lolly, so specifically the Demon Mama hit piece, I think it was the second time I heard about lolly. Specifically, I think Stardust brought it up on the feminist and gaming panel, and it kind of just seemed like something I probably wouldn't want to like I don't know, like poison my history with. So I never really looked into it. So when Jenny made that video about it. Jenny made that video on Demon Mama and Fawn, I think. I was pretty critical about it because I watched it on stream and I thought it was fucked up. So then I started to see the Rez clips and I was conflicted because I had already taken a hard stance on Lolly and Foodshops is somebody what I would consider a friend. So I did consider whether or not it was an issue of opinion. There's a lot of people saying that, yes, they're drawings. Drawings are not the actual act. That should be something that we consider. But I have stuck with my gut instinct and did decide to dissociate myself from Food for Thought just actually earlier today. One of the biggest issues that I have with this is that Tom specifically, but a few other people in chat, they're so comfortable standing on the idea that a red flag is not the action itself. Fine, I understand that. But the statement in itself is free from one of the most important considerations in the circumstance, which is that the trans community optically cannot really afford transgressions like this. A lot of the people who aren't trans, and to me, on some woke shit, are pretty privileged in this typical discussion, given the type of discourse that is brought on regularly by conservatives. I think to have to open a conversation or a discussion, like refuting the fact that I'm a groomer or like a fucking pedophile just by like simply existing is something that a lot of you guys don't have to experience. I know that you've maybe seen it in your own personal journeys. That's fine, whether you care or not. I just thought that that is something that I should bring forward. My issue, and one of the things that I find myself pretty angry about with Foodshops, is that I feel like it's irresponsible to engage in discourse like this, and then to force, me as her producer, her mods into positions where we are A, forced to defend her or forced to condemn her. So I find that really selfish, and it is something that I'm, pretty frustrated about. Something that I feel really stupid about was that, I think that after the conversation with Rez, I was asked to invite Rez for the Food for Thought panel, but I had no idea about any of this. So I'm frustrated because I kind of feel like a fucking idiot, not knowing why, Rez was apprehensive about coming on. I feel like
I responded, just to be clear about that, I responded to you about being apprehensive, I believe, before the conversation.
Okay, like whatever.
I think the time frame's just different there. I want to be careful with that.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. I think that that is definitely something. Thank you for clearing that up. And just the like, I think that is just like fucked up and it's frustrating to me. The message I sent to her today was pretty difficult, and I don't think that this element of this should be overlooked. Foodshops has been very open about being clout hungry, and it would seem that in her journey for clout, she would do so without any consideration for any of the people around her or any of the people who support her financially or uphold her community. I think that Sassafras said that I'm a mod of her community. I'm not. I never have been. I was given a role as a producer. I think it was a suit maker, but I actually resent the fact that I have to be on this panel right now and refute that fact, because I think that in a better circumstance, I probably would not feel like I necessarily have to burn this bridge. But again, I don't have that leeway here, I feel, to again take the red flag position and wait and see how things play out. I think what I've heard, I think has been pretty alarming.
I feel like everything that you're saying makes a lot of sense, and also I feel really bad that you're in a situation where you have to end a friendship so quickly because you don't have the grace to play around with that because of
why does she sound so fake?
Identity.
Is she a mirror? Why is she just bouncing off what people are saying?
Yeah, she's a complete airhead, dude. There's no point even thinking about the words coming out of Lauren's mouth.
Trans person and the the rhetoric about trans people having a higher likelihood to abuse, and that rhetoric exists whether or not you believe that is true or not. And so I'm sorry that you're put in such a position. That must be really difficult for you to deal with, number one. And number two, even though that is true and you have to go through that, do you feel like it's hard for you to have to end that friendship so abruptly? Because you were closer to Foodshops than I was, and even I'm struggling with this.
So my interactions with food shops were like, I wouldn't say that we had like a strong personal rapport, but through my interactions with like Angela, like our communities were kind of like, coexisting for a while. So there was like a degree of closeness, absolutely. And I know that Angela had like a stronger relationship with her, but I felt like when she brought up like food for thought, I felt like I would be a really good person to like step in there and do some of the communication, because I did see a lot of potential in the panel itself, and I saw a lot of potential in food shops. So
this Lauren person was flirting with JF in that interview, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, she was. Yeah. Though I don't know, it could have been a play to get.
Yeah, that's her. That's what she does. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
she was feminine wiles.
Yeah, she was definitely flirting. Though I don't know if it was honest flirting.
Right now, I kind of feel like I invested at least a degree of energy into her, and now that's kind of like it kind of feels shitty now that this circumstance has come to light, because I don't know.
Real quick, I'm gonna go. But,
I was like,
have a good night.
Thanks, buddy.
Good night, kid.
Good.
I'm actually going to drop off too. I said my piece. I don't think I need to weigh in anymore, and I've done plenty of coverage on this. I am going to be releasing a video that compiles everything together, so hopefully I'll have that out in the next 24 hours. That'll probably better expand on my analysis and my thoughts. I've been trying to be. The one thing I'll say is that I was trying to be very careful with my, because I know, just like Stardust was saying, I know Spicy Chad had been going in hard on food shops, and I didn't want to be one of the people who were part of that dog pile. So I was trying to be careful with my analysis, trying to approach it more objectively and such. I'd like to, that's part of the also part of the reason why it is. I'm, as Tom was describing, sort of fence riding this and waiting for more info, and not wanting to just like outright cancel her or completely cut her off. I'm going to go over her video. I'll cover it on stream.
Look, we have been going hard on food shops. Okay, look, we haven't got. I don't like the idea that we've targeted and shit like that. We have certainly gone hard in response. I would say we have certainly gone hard in response.
Yeah, and I've said in Spicy Chat as well. There's no point lying about it. There are some retards who've been trolling.
Yeah, 100%.
It's pointless to deny it. It happens, but like that is a larger point to make, though, that everybody acts independently. This is not an endorsement. Yeah. There is no Spicy Chat. Once again, have to keep fucking saying it, but there's no such thing as Spicy Chat.
Spicy Chat does not exist. Been chilling.
Over and take a look at what it was that she said, but based on what you guys have described about it, it doesn't sound like a good look. Sounds pretty evasive. Other than that, that's sort of like my closing thoughts on this. But thank you all for allowing me to so rudely jump onto the panel when it was overcrowded. And I sorry, Neve, that I took up an extra slot from you.
No, fuck yourself, Zonia. I hate you.
Everybody have a good night. All right.
Later. Yeah, I did reach out to food shops to see if she wanted to chat, and like I said, I would just go move over and go talk to her, but I haven't really gotten a response.
Oh, guys, we've just passed hour 3 of streaming, so now is a great time to remind you guys to like, sub, and dono if you feel so inclined. Thank you very much.
I know Stardust is talking to her now, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Neve, I know you were saying that like it feels really shitty because you invested not only like time, energy, money, and also like a belief in the show and a vision. Like you saw the vision of food for thought.
She's doing it again.
So I can see how that's really like.
She's so like this. Completely useless to any conversation. It's crazy.
The unfortunate thing of is an infuriating number of people in and around this space who do this shit.
Yeah,
you will ask them a question and they will just repeat it back to you with the slightest negative or positive inference on top. Like, but they never take a hard position. They never add any fucking nuance or anything a unique perspective. They're just fucking mouth breathing retards. It's so infuriating.
The worst part is that it works.
Hard and frustrating, so you're mad at food shops for that reason. But does any part of you, I mean, and then also you don't have the wiggle room to be have any grace period with food shops because of your identity as a trans person and the rhetoric around it, and I get all of that. But
being a small creator as well, right? That's also something that we talked about, right?
Right. So, but does any part of you also feel like this is like your friend and you should need to give them at least some wiggle room? Like you need to at least hear them out a little bit. I understand there's a manifesto, but there is something different about your written word versus like an actual discussion.
Yeah, no, I think that I have, been going back and forth about this, like a lot of people have. I am somebody who has actually worked quite a bit in childcare.
First he says there's literally nothing wrong with organised shitposting. I agree with that. There is something wrong with brigading though. But the thing is that there's not even organised shitposting. It's just something funny happens and people just bounce off each other, and someone makes a meme about this, another person changes it in this way. It's just the way that shitposting works, like online. People just, if something's funny, other people latch onto it and add their own shit to it. That's just the way it goes. That's how the internet works.
I'd also like to mention that we noticed there's such a thing as positive brigading. That never gets called out.
True.
Anytime
Yes.
there's a time where a horde of people from someone's community, when they're in shit, will invade somebody else's chat and start fucking pushing back, and that's the whole. I guess that's where the one guy meme comes from. But in many instances, it's multiple one guys. But that never ever gets called out. It's fucking double standards.
Yeah, very true.
Last job that I had was like a recreation coordinator. I had a portfolio. I managed like 30 different programs that include quite a few kids, and I could not go back to a workplace, look one of those people in the eye, having and also have that association as well.
Yeah.
And like this is like a workplace, like knowing myself as a trans person online, like I'm reluctant to tell people what sort of like work that I do for that particular reason, right? And
No,
so
I get that.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I'm conservative, and like I have my own beliefs, so I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you're put in such a position. It's shitty. You yeah, like I don't know if it's similar, but I feel like a lot of the times that people are like, "Oh, you're Jewish, defend Netanyahu," and it's like, wait, the fuck? Like, just because I'm Jewish, I don't defend all of like Israelis' actions. I don't know, similar. Just like you put in a group, you can't defend everybody in your group's actions.
Well, and the people that have the tendency to get like I would say like really witch hunty, I suppose, are generally like the people who have dealt with it the most. Like I don't know about Jenny's specific circumstance, but like I said, ever since I've been on YouTube, I've been like like being in the Black manosphere. Basically, every other conversation that gets brought up, and so it's like you can defend yourself with whatever sort of statistics and this and that, but it's like at the end of the day, if your position is like, okay, well, this is going to sound kind of pick me, but like, we're not all the same. We're all kind of, we're different. We're individuals, whatever. This is like, just gasoline to the fire. This is all people.
Stylo, chill out.
Right. And so, like I said, being close enough to the fire, I obviously felt the inclination to, come up and have that discussion. I don't have any like personal animosity towards.
We all thought it. We all thought it.
I think that, our professional relationship ended in a pretty amicable way. I think I was pretty charitable towards her. And, she's free to, release those DMs if she ever feels the need to. Like I said, I've been pretty transparent about it. That's just how I feel, right? There's just been a lot of frustration regarding that.
We're dealing with this with like such a level of class I don't think I would have if I were in your situation. So it's really oppressive, and I'm sorry that you're dealing with this because I'm sure it's emotional.
I appreciate you sympathizing with us. But yeah, no, that's where I'm at. That's what I came up to talk about. I appreciate everyone listening, and I'm gonna drop.
Thanks.
I have shit in this house, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for realsies this time. Okay, and
Thank
I'll
God.
maybe leak our DMs, Tom. So be careful.
Well, let me DM you. How about that? I'll be your husband.
Get me out.
I didn't hear that.
Down syndrome child are actually
He's discounted, but I'll be
Yeah,
in your DMs. Don't worry about it.
I hear that families with at least one Down syndrome child actually tend to be happier.
Yeah, well, that's, I imagine all of them.
Your family.
I don't know how you would even quantify that. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know about that study. I haven't read that.
Yeah,
study.
I'll be honest.
Zero raise E-boy.
Take your alarm.
Let me real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Yoon?
Oh, this
Is
is kind of
this-
funny too.
Wait, is this solo punished or is this?
No, this is Yoon. Do you remember the one who was molding in your chat the
Yeah,
other day?
yeah.
The Foodshops moderator.
Wow, damn. Let's go.
You're
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, I gotta mute the stream real quick. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Can I ask you a
Okay.
question
guys,
real quick?
Yeah.
don't do the misgendering.
How old are
Okay,
you?
not in
I'm
chat.
24.
Let's just take it
You're
easy.
24. Okay.
What was that- wait, what was that for? Okay.
What's
So
your
you
profile
said,
picture? What's
you
your
said
profile?
just real
Hold
quick.
on.
Yes,
Can
your
I do-
profile
oh,
picture
sorry,
is
go
one
ahead.
thing, but you said in Foodshop server, I'm such a minor on this, guys, saying that you were confused about something, and so I wanted to
yeah, I'm
ask
not a
real
minor.
quick. Okay.
Actually, that's why that's the main thing I wanted to say because I know you brought this up, Tom. There's been an 18+ rule and no not safe for work rule from the beginning of the server, and they're both enforced. So I just want to put that out there. I know, like, I didn't see Jenny's video, but I know there was something about like the Demon Mama situation and like minors in a Discord, and yeah, it's just not even close to the same situation. Yep. So I just wanted to clarify.
Yes,
that.
because we all know in Discord, everybody's honest, and you're checking everybody's IDs.
I mean,
it is as much as you can do. Like, it's,
yeah, like,
I don't know.
There's no sexual conversations with minors in the server. Like, yeah, like just full stop. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just have a rule.
Voice training,
Under 18 as
style,
well. There's not
voice
much we can do
training,
about it,
that's
but we also
why.
don't allow not safe for work imagery and crap like that. So.
Yeah.
Except for all the weird pics Tom posted himself.
I was like, you let me have an entire section of your Discord, Tom, where I did nothing but post nudes, and you were fine with it.
It didn't happen. Sorry, Rezzy, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, one thing that I do think is interesting is that I did get outed as a manic pixie girl in DMs. And
dressed up in the
now.
Calmaid outfit. Like that was like some kind of fucking answer.
I mean, yeah, that is the answer. Like what do you think the question is, dude? Like, you're not asking the right questions. This is what you British get when you overlook things. This is why we won.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can I just respond to one thing in chat from Sleepy? Foodshops said she doesn't know if she wants to talk to you because you're hosting dissenting opinions, and she thinks Beckett is spicy chat. I'm not in spicy chat.
They hate Beckett.
I
literally
I think there are some people in spicy chat who still like me. I don't talk to anyone from that community. I'm certainly not taking their fucking side with this. Kuihman fucking ambushed me with this shit while I was hammered. I just like this shouldn't be a fucking.
I didn't know he was hammered when I joined the call. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I did ambush him, Stylo. Let's be real. I did ambush him, but I didn't know he was hammered when I joined. When I realised he was like really drunk, I started being way more calm with him.
That was funny though, because he came in, he was so happy and upbeat. Hey guys, what's going on? And
it's because I just got back to my computer. And you guys were like, get on the fucking call, talk to Beckett now. So I was like, okay, let's fucking go, let's do it. I get on. It's like, sorry, I've just got to help some really drunk 20-year-olds get into this hotel. I sorry, okay, sorry, bro. So I see what's going on here now.
Surprise to anyone who knows anything about me.
He was mad at you for the lolly video when like he's like a big lolly fan himself.
He was fucking
what? I'm a big lolly fan. What?
You're done,
bro. This fucking retard. Oh, I almost said a fucking slur then. Holy shit. This goon. That's what I'll say. This absolute fucking goon over here is
mad at me about that.
Like,
Jesus.
I have been
I will sue it for you, says not Owen. Thank you.
President fucking lolly pedo.
I have been overly charitable with this entire thing. I haven't talked about it until today. Literally, she sent me a message saying, thanks for waiting to talk about this until I put out my manifesto or my video essay. She put it out. Now, we had already scheduled this panel before she did that. But then, obviously, like, all of the people that I invited knew that they were going to want to talk about this. So, like, what I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's not what am I supposed to do? Like, if somebody...
Sorry, Jimberly wants a refund because I didn't call Slap the Savage a slur just then. Okay.
If it gives a dissenting opinion, I just kicked them off. Like,
wait, is Foodshops afraid of dissenting opinions? I thought she wanted clout and all this shit. She wants the attention, and then she's afraid to get attention. This is fucking nonsensical retard behavior.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, it's tough to go into the lines then and get eaten up when you don't have good arguments. I can't imagine that they're very good arguments. That,
she's not helping. She's not helping her case. My opinion that I had earlier is like rapidly declining.
She said on Stardust she doesn't trust him. If she actually said this, dude, I gotta just split with this chick, dude. This is too many times where she says the dumbest freaking shit about me. As charitable as I've been to her, as much as I've helped her, as much as I've given her for her to keep like.
I'm pretty sure she did say that, didn't she? Pretty sure she did say
that. If that's true, again, I will wait to actually see if that's true. But I like, yeah.
And
Sleepy, did you show him that clip or not?
To be clear, well, I haven't called her a pedophile, and I've said this multiple times. I'm not making that fucking claim. I'm being as charitable as I fucking can be. But yeah. Like even from the takes I've seen, this is the sort of thing that's just lolcowish at best. Best read.
I mean, I don't even dislike her now because she's like map or map adjacent. I dislike her because she's trans. Like that's my main fucking problem.
Yeah,
it's just unacceptable, fucking horrible, degenerate behavior.
Haha, epic self-hating trans moment. Didn't she say she wasn't a self-hating trans to me when I went on call with her? So what do you mean self-hating trans? This is what I mean. This is what I mean right here.
She's making the trans community look like horrible. She's just as bad as Demon Mama and Demon Mama's fucking zoo of fucking troglodyte weirdos.
Well, to be fair,
oh, now you know the word troglodyte. Now you know troglodyte. Okay.
She did it when during your conversation.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she? Like 5 minutes later, she says troglodyte. It's like, for
give the devil their due and just let this.
How long until Foodshops has a 12-year-old girl on a leash at Pride?
That's a good question, but I don't know. I guess for me, like, I think at a certain point, you do have to give people their bad.
Oh, Foodshops, and then she said Sleepy was lying about this, then walked it back and said she was sorry. Jesus Christ.
Character. And I don't know if we can just use every trans person as reflection of all trans people. Like, I have my criticisms of that whole thing, but I hesitate to say, well, look at her, they make everyone look bad. Like, hold on for a moment. Maybe she's the problem, right? So, that's how I feel on that.
I think that there's a level of sarcasm that everybody's employing. We don't think Foodshops speaks for the trans community.
Okay, good.
And anybody who does paint anyone as speaking for any community probably is mentally retarded. What? Oh yeah, sure. That's a more British way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a fucking loon.
Yes, so true, Sourcing Sport. It's weird. Kui and Spicy is bad for presenting all this information, but now these people have all the facts, they're coming to the exact same conclusion. But they're the good guys because exactly. It's so crazy.
I don't know. But the nature.
It's the same with the other cases as well. Everyone except Tom thinks Tom did the alts. Everyone except Stardust thinks Stardust is a fucking retard. But for some reason, they use all these other cases, that they use their own individual cases to discredit future ones, even when they agree with it. So I don't. It's so insane the psychic damage these people have taken from spicy chat.
Space is people take sides because that's what people do. I get that people belong to Foodshops community. I was enjoying setting up things between Foodshops and Viv. I'm not gonna lie, it was really entertaining. It was so much fun. Really fucking entertaining. It was fun. Like I actually think that Foodshops to have her on a panel is highly entertaining. But you've got to balance. You've got to balance that. I'm not like
so. Beckett, can I? Sorry, read it.
Well, we also thought flat earthers and Nazis were entertaining to have on panels, but sometimes they're not the best option to have on your panel.
Okay, so I mean, that's kind of been like my opinion on her. Like as someone who's pretty close to her, obviously I moderate her server and I'm her friend. A lot of it just seems like she's just memeing too hard, and I don't believe that it's actually like malice. That's just where I'm at with it.
That doesn't matter because like when you meme too hard, like
between malice, not it was nothing to do with malice.
Yeah, that's the wrong definition.
Yeah, like it's so retarded.
Hold on, Samantha. Yeah, so I acknowledge that there's consequences to the actions that she's taken, and that's perfectly fine. Like no one is taking issue with that. I don't know why you would think that I would take issue with that, but I think it's a bigger stretch to say that she's like an actual danger than someone who's just memeing, which is what we've seen before in this space. Like that's just
there's no definitive proof that she is just actually memeing. Okay. She's so retarded and all over the place that there's no way to tell if it's true statements or meme statements.
Okay,
that's
I don't
the
know.
Problem.
Okay, Samantha,
when you release a manifesto, like to acknowledge claims that have been made against you, right? That's not a good look in your favor of, hey guys, I'm just memeing. She could still be memeing with the manifesto.
Okay, Samantha Savage making some real points here. So gotta give it to her. Kind of slamming this Yoon freak right now.
Hold on. Can we be specific? Because there's things that she's not memeing about, and there's things that she is memeing about.
Okay, what do you think she is memeing about? What in your opinion as a friend? And look,
so the 12-year-old clip. Have we all heard that one?
Just quickly. I want to be really clear.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot as Foodshops.
She doesn't even know I'm here right now. Like I haven't talked to her since yesterday.
It's not fair to you. So if any of this is uncomfortable, please say. Like
I'm here. She didn't send me. Like I came here on my own, and like I haven't talked to her since yesterday. Like she has no idea I'm fucking here. So
okay, what do you think she's memeing
on? So the 12-year-old clip. We've all heard that, yeah.
I know. I haven't actually seen it myself.
Yeah, it was sent to me a few weeks ago. I'll send it to you right now, Beckett.
Yeah. So that one, the person she's talking to said that it seemed like a joke. Seems like a joke to me.
Yeah, but that's like the issue.
This argument's so retarded. Gay Jizzle does the same shit, doesn't he? Because that's who they're talking about. It's like, oh, well, I was the other person in the conversation, so
and I'm saying it's not me. What?
Yeah, literally, it like makes no sense. It's like, what? Why are you any better? Why do we take your interpretation over anyone else's? You know, you could argue that, oh well, I was there and I had the full conversation. I got the vibe in the conversation, sure, but you're also like friends with her, so you're biased, right? So it's like it's a complete wash as to whether we accept your opinion on this or not.
Well, to be fair to him, having had quite a long conversation with him, he doesn't consider himself to be a friend with him. He actually left the server. He hadn't interacted with him for a couple of months. And by the end of the conversation, he agreed with just about every single point I've made, i.e. the points that we've made in totality. And the only pushback he had from pretty much the outset, and still he kept the position at the end, was he doesn't think she's a pedo. But everything else that was hoisted in his direction, he ended up agreeing with. So, like, as far as like character witness is concerned, he's fucking dog shit. Like, you don't.
He did lie to you. However, he did lie to you. He said if he's saying that he hasn't interacted in a couple months, he left the server sometime around the 10th of November, so about 12 days ago, and was active in there up until that point.
Right. Okay. Well. So, yeah. Okay, thank you for that. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, literally. I think I looked up the other day after he started saying they're not friends, and yeah, I was immediately like, okay, well, you're just completely fucking lying. You are friends. You are friends.
Yeah, because he was saying to me that they'd had a falling out and he left. He initially got timed out, and then he was banned because of the falling out he had. So, right, yeah, he must be talking complete fucking shit then.
Yeah.
I think it's less the issue of does it seem like a joke, or is this like, again, highly...
Okay. The lolly thing, not a joke. She actually admitted that in the conversation with you, right? Like, no one's saying that's a joke. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
I think Deeper Rama's onto it here. We had a falling out, brackets, I didn't hit. I think that's possibly what he means by falling out.
If you have a big problem with that, then like, sure, right? What else was there? There was the clip, Rezzivaer, where you played it on stream. I know she went. I think it was in her video. Like I didn't watch the video or read the whole manifesto.
Oh, is it the pedophile one where she paused and shit?
Yeah, where she paused.
So this is like this is like the only like factual thing that I have an issue with, is that she did play earlier where I did say that the one clip is kind of out of context, and she played that in her own video. I don't really take great offense to it. I'm okay with like not really pursuing it, but I do think that that was not portrayed the way that I portrayed that clip when I played it. So, but then again, at the same moment, I kind of just shackled something together after a sleepless night and depression. So yeah, 100%. I would say laziness more than a.
Rezzivaer, like there's certain things that I'm with you on. Like there's a lot of stuff that I've mixed feelings about. Like don't get me wrong. So like yeah.
Yeah, it's yep.
I'm just giving my impression of like her.
So yeah,
like,
the clips and everything was funny. Sure, it could have been funny, right, until the manifesto, right? And that takes these clips and these little like sound bites and whatever, and makes them not funny really quick.
So there's something that I agree with is like when it's something that Zonia said earlier too. It's like this is something that I've been really critical of, like really critical of. You can ask her. I'm like, dude, you can't joke about this shit and have these optics and not have people like be like, whoa, I got to back up because what's happening here. Like, that's just the expected result. It's the only possible result. So it's something that I've said myself. So I don't know.
So can you understand like where everyone's positions are? Like,
oh no,
like,
I probably understood your position before you even came to it. Like, to be honest, like I probably saw it months in advance. Yeah.
Yeah. So because I don't know whether you were watching the stream when I had her and Viv on, and
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had like very little knowledge of Foodshops before kind of the shit kicked off on Rezzi's stream.
Yeah.
And like they were going through topics that they could possibly debate because they just had a debate on like genocide. They were going to do trans genocide. They didn't want to do that. So we're going over and we were like, okay, what else is controversial? And Foodshops was like, oh, there's the lolly stuff. And I was like, you probably don't want to say that generally or in front of my community because I don't know whether it's a joke. I don't know whether she's memeing. Viv shut that conversation down. That was the first I'd heard about it. But I saw her chat because, I was watching her chat at the same time. And her chat was like, no, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. And like,
so many people did.
This isn't like a new thing that she's done. So it's one of those where like you seem to have told her not to do this. Like, actually, and lots of other people seem to have said, stop doing this.
Yes. I was probably the first person that I know of. Like, I know I told her in August, like, hey, like, it's not a good look. You should probably change the way you talk about this, or else, like, this is going to happen. Like, this panel was something that I saw coming months ago, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want this to happen for you, but, like, obviously, she has her own kind of thing, where I'm not, like, in control of her or anything. I'm just, like, someone who's in her community. I'm someone who's her friend and cares about her.
Sure,
so
like,
yeah,
you can't. Look, listen. None of this is. Certainly, no one's blaming you. Like for any of this shit.
Well, yeah,
like,
I wasn't.
I'm blaming you a little bit. Only because
yeah,
I like
what,
yelling at you.
like,
Just because I like yelling at you, and I feel
Wait,
like
you like yelling at me? Have we even talked before?
Yeah, a little bit. I yell at you on Food Stream. It was fun.
Oh,
can I ask you a question just to flip it a little bit? If you had somebody who was constantly making transphobic comments or racist comments, like just all the fucking time, and they were like, no, guys, it's fine, it's a meme, but then had a conversation where they were like, hey, like, I want to be serious for a second here. I think we probably need to discuss how much crime black people do. Would that change the way you saw those previous jokes?
Well, absolutely.
Yes. If someone is making jokes all the time about something, it's fair to assume that there's something there, and like she's admitted that there's something there in relation to this whole like subject. Like it's like she has her POCD history. There she has like
no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She's not have a POCD history. That's a lie.
The lolly stuff there. Like there's something there. Like I don't think that's in dispute. I think it's the question is what that thing is. Like is it innocent or not? Right?
I think well, okay. I think if it's just the lolly stuff, listen, there's gonna be plenty of people who are not gonna want to associate with the lolly stuff.
Yeah,
just at base, it's really toxic. It's at base a toxic position to hold optically for you to interact with. This is this crushes people's careers.
Okay, so yeah,
even if you're not going to the extent that she's a pedophile, which again I am not.
But anyone can hold the position that lolly isn't morally wrong because no child is being hurt. Anyone, there is not you might get a little bit of pushback. You might get a little bit of shit from some more extreme people, but you can say that. No one will ever have it. Sorry, no one will ever have an issue. But you can say that and be totally fine. The issue is you can't go around saying that you jerk off to lolly and also say that at the same time, right? Because then it becomes completely different. Then you're saying, I engage with this, not just making an ethical argument about, an abstract concept. It becomes much more real. It's just so retarded.
Fucking optically toxic position to hold.
Yeah, has anyone ever said that before? Like on Twitch poll that we know of? Like I know her and I'm pretty floored that it's like just something that people say, like the lolly thing.
The what? The lolly CP or what?
No, well that and also
that they jerk off to it?
Yeah, like
or that they
has
out.
Like,
the thing is that she had stated that that's how she views lolly.
Yeah, so Samantha, you've said this a few times. I want to challenge you on this. So when you say she said that she views it as that, do you have like a passage that you can like show me where she said that? Like what are you referring to specifically?
She had said it on stream before.
Yeah, but I'm asking what you're referring to so I can get like her exact words and we can like get her meaning. So it's not just like, oh, she said that and she's admitting it. It feels like
she said in the Rezzi conversation that it wasn't CP.
Yeah,
but then she also said she viewed it as drawn child pornography.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
So real quick, yes, I'm reading her thing. Wait, it's important. I'm reading her thing right here. It says, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I consume lolicon. Yes, I recognize it is drawn child pornography. I recognize it is immensely optically damaging for me, especially being a transgender person in this space, to admit this, and especially since I believe in content creator responsibility to some degree. So that is the passage where she says
okay, so
that's in the well-poisoned passage, by the way.
Okay, got it. So I didn't read that part in the manifesto. Samantha, how do you interpret that statement?
Sorry, I didn't laugh. Sorry,
no, it's don't worry. I'm already aware of like all the optics.
Bro, why is this Janny doing such a bad job? This is crazy.
When you tell me which high school you go to.
Don't do that.
Okay.
No,
So,
I can confirm. Yuna's definitely above. Yuna's definitely above age.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah,
Just saying. But it doesn't matter how I interpret it, right? She basically stated that this is how
No,
it's
it
viewed
does
and
matter.
changed.
I'm asking you for your interpretation.
No. I'm not interpreting her words. She typed them out and
Dude,
then
what-
went
how do
over
you-
it herself.
Okay. So can I explain
If
why
I say
I'm asking this?
if I tell you, hold on. If I tell you,
Yes.
I kick dogs in the dick, right? Interpret my statement for me.
So you're saying that there's no
Interpret
other...
my statement for me. I say I kick dogs in the dick. What
I'm
am I?
sorry, is the
what
point
am I
of this
doing?
question that you can't interpret things differently? Like,
Hold on, I just want to hear Yoon say why are you asking this question?
yeah, because using a label, which in this case is CP, right? And saying it is a drawn CP is not the same thing as saying it's literal CP, and that feels like the implication you're putting there.
No, I'm, oh my god.
What do you mean no?
Okay,
That's what
so
you're
you're
saying.
saying
No,
What you're doing.
no. What? No one is saying that it's the exact same as actual CSA. No one is saying that. No one's ever been saying that.
No, it is a drawn form of CP. That's her words.
Yeah, hold on. I think so. What they're saying is that it's not CP; it's just a drawing of CP. Whereas I think actually what we're all getting from this is that it's
artistic
a
rendition.
drawing version of
Yeah.
CP. Like it is CP in the drawn form.
So
it is.
can I just clarify? Yeah, this is the point I'm driving at. In her mind,
Sorry, Kuihman, can
appears
you
to
just
be
pause
the
for a
case that there's
moment?
distinction.
And I just put in the Spice Pit side chat, I've just linked the clip. It's obviously already been covered. They're talking about it in the manifesto, but I want people to see her say it with her own fucking lips when she says this.
Alright, let me pull this up. They're on streamable quickly.
Lolicon is pretty pedo adjacent. No, yes, it is absolutely pedo adjacent. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you can. I am more than happy to call it drawn child pornography. It is literally child pornography. Yeah, Lolicon.
Well, there you go. There can't be any more clear cut, really, can it?
Between these two things, and a lot of people, I know Zonia doesn't make that distinction.
I think there's a distinction as well. Yes.
Tom makes a distinction. Samantha, do you make a distinction?
Yeah, it's I agree with her statement. It's a drawing form of CP.
So
it's
when
an
you say it in
artistic
such a
rendition
charged
of
way,
CP.
okay. So when you're saying like, she admitted that she likes, what you're really saying
I'm
is
not saying that she did in her manifesto.
Okay.
And on streams.
Does anyone understand what I'm getting at? I'm kind of
Yes. So real quick, okay. So the implication when we say CP is that we recorded kids in a sexual scenario, which is breaking their consent, obviously, and is not okay. They are not capable of consenting to this. This is a horrible thing to do. Whereas a drawn version of this does not break anybody's consent and is obviously a very different type of ethical quandary, not the same as like what we think of when we think of CP, right?
But per our average ethical framework that we have in society in the United States of America, that's still like looked down upon and cringe on like basic moral foundations.
Okay, but
unless you're a fucking degenerate.
I just want to like get that out there because it just feels so weird when it's just being repeated like that. And
I'm sorry, I see no difference in you.
Oh, apparently, Thirsty was the one that baited that statement out of her. So good job, Thirsty. You've contributed to the to Foodshops suicide watch.
To fucking CGI or animated kids or jacking off to real kids, you're still attracted to some disgusting
okay,
shit.
Samantha, you just contradicted yourself. You said that they're different, and then you just said
No,
that they're the same
they are
just now.
different forms of it, but I see no difference in the moral aspect of you jerking off to one versus the other. It's still fucking cringe.
Look,
degenerate,
you can take
disgusting.
issue with both. That's fine.
And I do. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for telling me what I can and can't do.
Look, I'm not even referring to you specifically.
What I
I'm
can and
referring
can't do
to
by a fucking 14-year-old.
Do you just always like randomly say shit that makes no sense?
Yes, actually, yeah, that's like 100% thing.
Thank you. I've never interacted with you before, so I was just kind of confused, but that's fine.
Good, I hope it's our first and last time.
Yeah, so Black Bean, we actually looked at this earlier, is actually federally, it is considered CP in the United States. So, yeah, it is actually federally legal. Some states have sort of rules that seem to exempt it, but they'll still hit you with the federal charges if you're like distributing shit.
Can I, again, just I'm going back here, Luke, but that clip as well, 2 points. That is from a stream 24 hours before the Rezzivaer stream, where she has the exactly opposite position. And in addition to that, the VOD that is from was mysteriously privated way before all the other shit was privated. So she knew she'd fucked up.
Right, what else she privated?
They're all gone. All the VODs are gone.
Yeah, it was only go back
Bro.
5 days. Yeah, that's all I just got.
And prior to that, all of the VODs were live. There was, from what I could see, it was literally 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, going back fucking weeks and weeks and weeks. So she's purged. And it's not just the unlisted, they've been privated.
Yeah, Jesus. So the one from last night is still up, but wow, it just literally privated all the old content just to stop people looking. Wow. You can't get any more guilty than that, really, can you? Jesus.
Step on a Lego.
Okay.
Honestly, this is light for Samantha, for what it's worth.
I'm trying to be respectful because it's Tom's, and I respect Tom.
Sorry.
Plus, it's not as bad as having fucking Ben Thorpe or the other guy who called me the N-word like 1,000
okay,
times.
hey Samantha, we can agree with that. Like Ben is someone who's in Food's community for a bit, and like one day I was just like,
I think they're both degenerate retards.
Okay, can I just finish?
One jerks off to minors, and one jerks off
I
to
was
their
trying to
daughter.
extend a
The
bridge to you,
difference.
and you're just like,
Don't build a bridge with me. Don't. You don't want to do that.
Can I finish my sentence then?
No.
Okay.
Of course you can.
Okay, Samantha won there. Samantha won.
Thank you.
Not gonna lie.
Appreciate it.
Slight W.
Ben,
He's got fans.
One day I got tired of him and I just banned him. And when he was in the waiting room, that's the end of Ben in Foodshops community at least. I don't like him either, so we can agree on that at least. As for Rezzivaer, I don't know. So I think it's weird because I feel like you and I are the two people who are like, and I understand this is probably a weird thing to say at this time, but we're probably like the closest to her, so we kind of have the closest understanding to her. Do you agree with that?
Well, I thought I did, but I'm honestly I don't know. And I think that's the.
Oh man, Kenny, she edited it. Jesus, this is madness. This is just madness. So there's been an edit.
Back to the stream, see if it was there.
This is an edit that's happened, right? Okay, so let's just read this paragraph. Let's get this out of the way. Yes, I consume lolicon. Yes, I recognise it is drawn CP. I recognise it is immensely optically damaging for me, especially being a transgender person in space to admit this, and especially since I believe in content creator responsibility to some degree. And then we have the new version. Let's get this out of the way. Yes, I consume lolicon. I also recognise that it is worrying to the degree that it resembles children in
Oh my life, mate. I've got the original thingy for saved, by the way.
Yeah,
so
Rita
fuck
does
you,
too.
Foodshops.
Rita does too. I recognise it is immensely optically damaging for me, especially when a transgender person to me. Okay, yeah. So, bro,
it is over.
It's
Fuck
beyond
this.
over.
This isn't going away now. This is beyond the pale. Not having it. Fuck you, you stupid cunt.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Thing is that I realized that I think when I was having that conversation specifically, I was trying to talk to the food shops that I envisioned and not the person that was before me. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's something I've been considering.
Right, so Bug, Sourcing Support, and Rita all archived the manifesto the moment they got hold of it. So based. I am so proud of this community.
Myself, so. But yeah. What did you just say?
I said fucking pixie girls. That's what you always do.
Just, yeah, okay, like, well, yeah, okay, sorry. I feel, sorry.
Like, I said this in Zonia's chat, but like, really, I think it's stupidity. It's not malice, guys. Like, that's my position on it. Okay, like,
yeah, and I mean the thing, but the issue is that
stupidity can accidentally be malice, right? Because now it can invite like minors to come interact with her, could put her in bad situations. I mean, idiocy turns into malice all the time. That's why we have drunk drivers that fucking kill people, or accidental discharges on a weapon. Like, it can be an accident and still be a fucking shit malicious thing, unintentionally.
So it can be malicious, and the result of her actions can be bad. I definitely agree with that. Like, I think it's bad that I'm here. Like, I don't want to be talking about this stuff at all. Okay.
Oh, back up. Can I message Lav? Can we get Lav in here?
Yeah, let's get Lav in here, dude. That's great. We'll get somebody with PCD in here. It'll be fucking fantastic.
But there's like different types of bad, right? There's a gradients of bad. There's like
neither of them have PSOD, actually, as a matter of fact.
That's not great.
Yes,
right?
but with Foodshops, we cannot tell definitively which level of bad she is at. That is the problem.
Okay, well, you could say the same for anyone, Samantha. Like, it's kind of like me asking you the question.
Beckett, how many times have you advocated for lolly or cuddling 12-year-olds or this type of shit in your streams or DMs or whatever? Okay,
Never.
Tom. Well, let's not ask Tom. Hold on, Rezzy.
I only advocate for older.
I love that this is just a meme though. That Tom is a sex pest. It's just everyone makes jokes about it now. You can see he's not happy about it. It's brilliant. I love it. Tom is broken.
Under the age of 25, anything under the age of 25 should be exterminated.
Tom, how many times have you done this on your streams or stuff?
About 6 times this week.
Yeah.
Other than tonight.
Tom's just like.
I'm just kidding. I personally have never talked about cuddling 12-year-olds or like jerking into fucking lolly in DMs or fucking panels or fucking streams or private phone calls or like anything. Wait, you or me, Tom? but like this isn't. No, I just advocate for hurting people, not like that. But like this is a thing, right? So like we have a level of bad that we see in the community, and we've gone over it with like Mr. Girl was a level of bad, and we knew that. But like this is a level of like memeing into the sun that we cannot definitively say it is like this level bad, this level bad, or this level bad because of how memey and untrue or just like not like untrue maliciously lying, but like saying shit for attention and saying shit to meme for attention can land you in this position that she landed herself in because that's what it did, to where. Like, yeah, it can be harmful for communities to engage with her because there is no way to tell if she is a threat or not.
Yeah.
It's also just like, look, people sort of have to weigh up what they're prepared to deal with. Like, I don't know if you know who Merc is. She's like a Destiny Orbiter.
Don't care.
Of you like.
Don't care.
Like the more engagement you have with that person is going to have.
Like, here's the thing: I had stress for like a night. I'm not like that fucked up on this shit. Like, it was stress for a night.
I'm not saying you're fucked up, but it also
like the most.
You breaking friendship stresses you out, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've actually talked to quite a few people about this, like the last day or two. I'm just like, there is like a level of like sadness that's within me because of that.
Sadness.
Stress might not be the best word, but it's more just like a deep morose sadness. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, listen to how sad he sounds. The man can barely get his fucking cow costume on. It's like,
it's not always about the cow costume, but
it's always about the cow costume.
It should be. It should be.
Look, the truth is that even if you're right, and I'm not even saying you're wrong, that this is for clout. I have called her an unreliable narrator all night. That is actually, it's better. Don't get me wrong. It's not much better. Like, it's not like a huge improvement. It's not like, oh, we're cool now, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy. Maybe this is fine for people. I don't fucking know. I don't think it is.
I mean, it's weird, you know. Welcome.
And to reiterate what Sam the Human said earlier, two things can be true at the same time. Those of us who are concerned by this are not necessarily endorsing the shit spicy chat polls, right? This isn't about sites of like in some fucking Cold War.
I condemn spicy chat. I condemn.
Yeah. Honestly, though, they do have some connections with Hamas. I've been seeing the tunnels they've been building in my Discord.
Wait, did Lab seriously go on Kick or Keep with dicks in the background of her screen?
Maybe.
Why am I not surprised?
What this is literally what she got banned from my server for, is posting pictures of penises in the server.
Okay, well, Tom, maybe some people don't have sexually regressive Discords. I mean,
at least she was over 18.
True.
So I'm a little confused because I thought, like, even Samantha, I thought you were saying earlier that like you're more so on the like waiting for more information, like this is a red flag, just kind of like, you know,
I wanted to see her response to the backlash of her manifesto. But if she's not even willing to come like fucking talk to you or talk to people about it, she just wanted to.
It's kind of how I feel.
It's a bad look, and I said that. I said that type of reaction is like flipping me, because like I was totally fine with like, hey, maybe this son can learn a lesson, but she's like, no, I don't want to address these things. And remember, even before we said that, I was like, you know, when I was saying we'll see if she's still down to like kick people or block people trying to talk about it after posting this and engaging with it. I'm not done talking yet, sweetie. So you can sit down.
Don't you find it ironic that you're
okay,
like complaining about being interrupted when you interrupted me like 35 times
for a minute? Back of the bus, not your Rosa Parks moment. Sit the fuck back down. Okay. Anyway, I said even before that.
She uses that one way too fucking much. She used that same line on me as well. Not your Rosa Parks moment. Like, dude, you can't just use the same line in every fucking argument. You have to come up with something new. Even I feel bad saying freaking eunuch so much, you know.
About the kicking people who want to talk about it or bring it up when like before the manifesto even drop and like see a response after this, then she just wanted to fucking do the same behavior, which is a really bad look in this thing. So yeah,
disavow spicy, do and say the exact same thing. Yeah, exactly. What have we done that is so bad that you have to disavow it? I mean, you can say posting pre-transition pictures, but those are ones food stamps shared on a stream herself for everyone to see. Like, you know, you put something out there, people are going to repurpose it in ways you may not like. That's the way it goes.
I'm flipping.
So
yeah, I mean that's like, just to be clear, that is kind of.
I don't do that with Brianna Wu. I wouldn't post pre-transition photos of Brianna Wu because obviously that's a massive faux pas because she does her best to conceal that stuff. But Foodshops presents it clearly. You know, I feel like it's fair game at that point.
Yeah, and let's be fair as well. Like she, like not maybe to quite the same extremes, but she's playing the same kind of fucking games. Like the shit that she was saying to you on stream. That was
she was trying to.
Any memes were made and pictures were shared. Like. What's the standard? Like, fuck
yeah, exactly.
Like, I expected a response that actually explained a lot of what people were wondering about in the manifesto, so I held like any opinions or positions and just kind of wanted to wait. She even thanked me. She sent me a DM saying, hey, thanks for like, you know, leaving this alone and waiting for this to come out. I invited everybody to this panel before she posted all of this. I didn't know it was coming out, and then all of a sudden it comes out after I invite people like Beckett, people like Rezzy, people like, you know, a bunch of people who are already interested in this and have engaged in this topic, and so there was just no avoiding it at that point. Plus, people literally every day in my chat, why haven't you talked about this? Why are people covering this up? Why is Twitch poll trying to, you know, harbor a pedophile, blah, blah, blah? And I wanted to, like, you know, give an opinion on it, and my opinion is pretty reserved, I feel like, compared to literally everybody else. I feel like me, compared to everybody else, I keep getting a bunch of people in chat saying, like, oh, why are you defending a pedophile? Why are you defending her, Tom? Blah, blah, blah. But even with that, with everybody saying that I'm defending her, I'm still somehow on the bandwagon of people who are bad and uncharitable and not worthy of talking to. And this is a week after she went off about me never virtue signaling that I cared about her, and never saying that I, like, you know, kicking me off of her show, going off about a bunch of like mess up stuff about me. Whereas like I said, I have like sent Discord notifications to get a bunch of people in their chat, rated her a ton of times, go on and hang out, like pulled her on my show a bunch. I invited her on big panels with a bunch of other people. Like, I feel like I virtue signaled the hell out of this shit. And again this week with not talking about this stuff, and with like
I think Tom's just insane.
You know, at the beginning, like, talking about the fact that like
conspiracy pedo allegations is like, what about me?
It's not as bad as everybody else is making out to be. I think a lot of people just want to virtue signal. A lot of people just want to like, look cool. Like, oh, pedophilia bad, blah blah blah. Like, I feel like yes, I'm the entire time have been the one kind of defending her and trying to be on her side, and I felt like I would be the one that she would want to talk to about this shit, and apparently I'm the one that she doesn't trust to talk to about this shit, so that's weird.
Yeah, Tom, like, what you're saying is, like, her actions towards you make, like, no sense, right? Like, I kind of agree, and I think that's kind of part of what makes her her. Do you know what I'm saying when it comes to that? It's, like, kind of the same thing with this whole drama, in my opinion. It's, like, you read this, and you're like, why would you ever do this or say this? And this makes no sense. And you have to, like, take your path about, like, which explanation is the correct one. And it's, like, in the case of you, Tom, where she's like, oh, you've been uncharitable to me, and, like, I don't trust you, I guess is what she said on stream or something, like, just now. I don't fucking know. But it's, like, yeah, that doesn't seem to follow, which is kind of just, like, who she is. But it's not, like, a premeditated, I'm going to say this thing, and, like, I have it all planned out. Like, yeah.
I guess, like, that... I'll get into this, but that's part of my issue here is that, like, somebody who isn't, who seems to have impulse control issues also.
Is this profile picture? Who is this? Or is it just Samantha's turned it off?
Having these issues is making these things just that much worse, and so, yeah, I would,
you don't recognize it.
It's just not, it's not helpful, but
she
said she wants to talk to me after she goes over the manifesto. I should probably take a bit to go over it on stream as well, so that we're all in the same boat.
To be fair, I did suggest just talking about the new president of Argentina. Like,
yes,
my suggestions were not this. I also want to know when Destiny's going to provide proof and evidence of Hassan's tunnels, where he keeps his capitalism.
I would like to know when Destiny's going to prove that he's not a pedophile.
Ace. Yeah.
When's that
Someday, maybe.
More talking about Destiny. More talking about Destiny. Tell me.
We can keep helping.
Where did that one come from?
I don't.
But look, I also think a fair amount of people seem pretty depressed about the whole thing. And to be clear, for those, because the pedo panels come up a couple of times, it's not like I don't have pretty clear form on this. I told someone to delete their channel over that panel. That was my genuine advice to the guy who hosted it. I called them irresponsible and said that they should get the fuck off the internet. I said that a year ago. So it's like I think I've got like pretty strong opinions on this kind of thing. I was like, you shouldn't be making fucking content then. Sorry, you hosted a panel where you had a 16-year-old victim on with the person who groomed them. Fuck off. Like, so, you know.
Yep.
There's more fucking British waffling, man. When are you gonna own Savile?
When am I gonna own? What you fucking talking about? We dug him up.
Yeah,
like,
okay, dude. That's what the Queen wants you to fucking believe. Okay. All right.
You're right, Rezzy.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Anyways. Yeah, Ewan, how are you feeling, dude? Like, I'm just like as like a general note, like, because I'm gonna be honest, this sucks.
Like, I don't know. Maybe you can tell, but
yeah, it sucks, dude. It sucks. It sucks having somebody that you think is a threat. Well, and it's not like it's not.
Like I haven't talked to her since yesterday. We're friends, but yeah, I have
strong reservations. We'll put it that way. That sounds about.
I want her to. Okay, I know she's probably gonna listen to this if she's not right now, but like, I just want her to stop fucking memeing about it because like at some point perception becomes the only reality that matters.
Yeah.
And it's just like, like...
Yeah. No, listen, to be clear, no one's telling you to disassociate. No one's telling anyone else. Well, at least I'm not telling anyone to disassociate.
Okay, well, I'm not like a fucking content creator, so all of you motherfuckers are going to distance yourself at the first sign of trouble. I'm happy about that. I'm
distancing myself.
No, to be clear, I understand when it comes to this subject. When it comes to this subject, yeah, like that is the only expected result.
Some are, but Tom will still have a conversation.
Well, Tom, you're just like the bravest soul on the planet. I don't know how you do it.
Star will still have the conversation. Like, other people are waiting for evidence. Zonia said that she's like would wait for more information to come out. I don't think that's a universal position.
Well, in my thought process is if a bunch of people are waiting for more information, I would just go have that conversation, get that information.
Wait, Tom, what's the deal? Are you saying like she's not wanting to talk to you now?
Yes. She just messaged me just now and said that she'll talk to me soon. So
okay,
well, yeah.
Like on this panel?
Probably not this panel.
Probably, yeah. Like I said, I will have a one-on-one conversation with her. Yes, I'm not gonna do it with a group of people. Yeah.
I'm not that fun hungry. Fuck me. Do that.
I think that's the best way to go about it, though. Even though I don't really know the person, I just kind of have more philosophical, general thoughts on her.
Yeah, I just feel Ben's side all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Look, if she wants to make the arguments that like she's been targeted by Spicy, I think there's.
I think she's not wrong about that, but like the thing is, Spicy isn't gonna. People from Spicy aren't gonna argue that. Like they're just gonna be like, yeah, Giga Chat based, awesome, we won. You know, all Foodshops.
I don't think
we did win. We did. Just to be clear, we did win. We did win. Can we be clear about that?